And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC, week number 99. I'm, of course, just VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to the beginning of the off-season. This is the first week, the very first week that marks the beginning of the off-season of EWC. We're here, we're jumping into our weekly tournament, exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into the first game and spawning in the top right hand corner. Oh, we have, let's go. In the top right hand corner, we have our red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself from the land of Germany. He was random, by the way, he was random rolling and landing on Protoss for streamer zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Ukrainian random player, the Ukrainian random landing on Zerg, representing Hokago T team. It is Hacker is Dub. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's jump into our best of 3, into our ZVP. Now, the two players did actually let each other what race they landed on. Hacker's Top did let Jumy know he was playing Zerg, and Jumy did let him know he's playing Protoss as well. So both players have that information. It is going to be gas first. Gas first out of Hacker's Top. Gas into pull into a delayed expansion. Interesting build here from our Zerg player. We'll see where this leads us. We'll see where this goes. We shall see. Yo, meanwhile, shout out to those in the chat. I see share my papi, share my shout out to all those in the chat as well. I see Where Hugs. I see Kuro Milk and Cookies. Este lechito, papi. Ay. Good to see you as always. Good to see you, Este Milk and Cookies. Likewise, I see Pie as well. Hope you had a great time. Over in Krakow, over in the FEL, the Fusion Esports League Polish LAN tournament. I hope you had a great time. Likewise, shout out to, I see Prada in chat as well. I hope you have Hydras hydrated this morning. Yes, I will hydrate all of my Hydras as links are moving out. Now, as a reminder, remember, it was gas first. It was gas first, so really early link speed here out of Hacker's Top. And what is more interesting is that we are not pulling out. You can see here, we're not pulling out of gas, so we're staying in the gas, which means either a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren. And we have the answer, Bane Bust. Okay, so it's going to be a 2 base all in, or 1 base all in, really. 1 base all in, Bane Bust. There is a natural base, there's a hatchery here on the right hand side, but Hacker's Top has no intention of drawing. No intention. We're going for the bust instead. Meanwhile, Jumy across the map. Scouts. Wow, big scout here for Jumy. Jumy goes in, he sees everything. He sees gas income, he sees the Baneling Nest, he sees everything. And I don't see this working, to be honest. Lings move out across the map, but the initial Zealot's already out. Zealot's out, Adept is out, Shield Battery is on the way, and the Oracle is on the horizon. The Oracle is all it takes to defend against this all-in, and I can't. He just has such a heads up. Is the problem here? Jumy has such a heads up as to what's going on. As here comes the all-in, here come all the Zerglings. Here comes the bust. 5 Banelings morphing in as we speak. From here, I do believe that he can knock down the first pylon, but I don't think he can break this position. We have a second pylon behind this. We have 2 shield batteries on the way as well. Another Adept is in production. There's a re-wall. First pylon goes down, but everything still stays powered. Yeah, everything stays powered. Shield battery keeps the Zealot alive, and there's no breaking this. Yeah, there's no breaking this position. The Oracle's on the way. When the Oracle pops out, there's going to be nothing here to break this position. And now we're droning. Yeah, now Hacker's Top is droning, and these are late workers for Hacker's Top. Ay. Late workers, late saturation. Back at home, we do see Jumy just saturating, just chilling, saturating his bases, building up his probes, going for a robo follow-up. With a robo, he can go into a Twilight Council, he can go into Drop Play, he can go into Archons. We'll see where he takes us. For now, robo typically, in my mind, is going to be for a Twilight Council into like an Archon drop. Otherwise, could just go for more Adepts across the map. We'll see. We'll see where Jumy takes us. As the Oracle does move out. Same time, we have Lings here on the right hand side threatening a dive. Yep, there's that Twilight Council. As I mentioned, Robo Opener in my mind screams Archon drop. So Twilight Council into Temple Archives, into High Templar, into Archon production, alongside that War Prison. Meanwhile, ooh, the first Oracle does overextend. A bit of miscontrol here at the Jumy. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol. It's going to be a 4:18 minutes lair timing. Interesting. Cybercore is under fire. Warp Gates will barely finish up in time. But the Cybercore is going to get picked up. Okay. Because the Cybercore. Twilight Council is done. At the same time, 2 Adepts. Ooh, they get across the map. Drone's going to be falling. Getting 7 drone kills already. Yeah, 7, 8 drones going down. Aye, brutal damage. There are no queens back at home. Here we go. We have a second bus coming. Here's that prism. Yep, there's that Temple Archives. If you remember, we spoke about the Archon drop. There it is. So the Archon drop is soon to be upon us. But last Jumy needs more time. Oh, shield batteries exposed. The battery's going to go down. The wall is open. Yeah, the wall is open. Lings, they flood in. Lings, they flood into the main. And Hacker's top. I don't know if he can really get much done here. Yeah, nice pro pull. Does pull away. Does pull away. That's 6 probes going down. 7 probe kills even. Not bad. But what scares me is this. The Archons. Here comes a Prism. Soon to be High Templar. There it is. 3 High Templar. We're still missing one more. Missing another High Templar here as there's only 3 gates. That's why. There's only 3 gateways. Here comes the first Archon. And Jumy can only warp in 3 units at a time. Another probe goes down. Where is that second Archon? As warp-ins are available. There we go. So delayed Archon drop, and what do we have to defend? No queens, no queens, no drones, no queens. Sorry, no queens, no lings is what I meant to say. We're going 2 base Hydra, but there is nothing to defend. There's a handful of lings in production as we speak, but these Archons, they can wreak havoc. They can wreak havoc. They can overwhelm. There is no answer to the Archons as they make their way into the mineral line, and there's nothing to defend. There's 6 Zerglings. And they're not going to do much. Yeah, the voids are being pulled. GG gets called, and Jumy will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG well played. Jumy, he will take a lead in the series, and we'll see if the trend does continue. We'll see if Hacker's top can bounce back. Bearing in mind that game 1, they both played random. Game 2, we'll see. We'll see what they do decide to play. Again, when it comes to the first game, unfortunately, Hacker's top got scattered, right? Everything was seen. Jumy, he saw everything. He saw the gas. He saw the early gas. He saw the early pool. He saw the Bailey nest as well. He saw everything he needed to. So, really strong response out of Jumy. I will say that I am impressed that despite that, Hacker's top still got in. He still broke into the base, but didn't get much done. He killed 10 probes, but that was after the fact. That was after an extended period of time where the workers already paid for themselves. And again, there was no answer to the counter Archon drop. GG. GG will play with that. We're now getting to game number 2. Just catching up in the chat. We had a very fun time. Well-made event. Indy's face kept covering the player supply. Oh, was because the screen was so low. Right. So for those who are curious, for the main event, the casters were on the stage. Was the screen behind them, or were they casting with face cam? No shot. God damn it, Indy. Regardless, here we go. Here we go. We're getting to the next game, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Percival, we have the German, typically Protoss, but now Zerg player. Remember, he's random. Remember, he is random. He does land on Zerg. Representing Streamer Zone, it is Jumy. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian random player landing on Terran. It is Hacker is Dumb. Was fine from higher rows. So if you were in the front row, then the oh no, not like this, not like this. True proxy ARAX, let's go. CC first. Oh my, CC first out of Hacker is top. Okay, so CC first out of our Ukrainian random player. You are Jumy back at home going hatch pull into a delayed gas geyser. Okay, so delayed gas here out of Jumy. We'll see where he takes us. Try the front from the beginning. I can't see any. Oh no. Hacker's was like, mate, you can't afford 8 Raxes for 1 base economy. You can't do it. She was like, no. Believe, Pat. Believe. You see the passion, then you can afford anything, even 18. Trust. Oh no. Este Jumy. Look, there's a reason why he's not playing Terran, okay? There's Believe in the power of 711. Show us. Show us the 8 racks. Let's go. As here we go. We do have our CC first interaction to factory follow up here from Hacker itself. Oh, also my apologies. There we go. Is a best of 3. Link speed is on the way. We can see Jumy does pull out of gas. And so far we're going to be settling in. Again, nothing too aggressive out of our Terran player, just because we did go for a hyper greedy opener. Jumy claiming his 3rd. From here we're joining, we're saturating, building up. But I would imagine that that stage is more set to view this, like, sorry, I should say the auditorium is set to view the stage, not behind the stage. So yeah, I would imagine that the first couple of rows would have a really hard time seeing the screen because the screen is behind, like, the stage itself. So I can imagine. But regardless, good to hear that you had a good time. Good to hear. Oh my god, as we hold on. As we are faking stim. Okay, so we have fake stim here out of Hacker Sub, and he's going double starport into, I would imagine, 2-port Banshee. So 2-port Mass Banshee here out of Hacker Sub. He should be canceling this upgrade, preserving that gas, and getting into those Banshees, getting into those tech labs. So here we go. Cheeky build here by Hacker Sub. Fusion Core? Are we going for BC? Are we going 2-port BC? There it is. Fusion Core is on the way. 2-port BC, not 2-port Mass Banshee. Okay. So Battlecruiser is going to be on the way. Once again, this upgrade should be cancelled, and hopefully Hacker's Top does not let it finish. Meanwhile, Jumy's ready. Jumy, he's joining up. Jumy, he does have an overload here on the right-hand side. He does see the early tank. And we'll see if Jumy does go further in. We'll see if he does scout the main. Worst unit in the game. Oh no. My brain immediately just went to, like, Infestors with Microbull Shroud, but that's specifically that spell. He's gonna get Master Reaper. Kappa. Here come the Overlords. Once again, we do cancel restart Concussive Shell. Jumy coming in for the scout, and the scout is gonna be denied. He will not see anything. He sees the eBay, but that's all he sees. He does not get further back in. BCs are amassing as we speak, and Jumy is in trouble here. Now, I will also say that the lair... Okay, the lair's about to finish. Lair's about to complete, so he should morph in an Overseer. There should be an Overseer morph in, and then with that, he can see everything. Let's go. I mean, Jumy, he knows something is wrong, right? Something is wrong, something is amiss. He smells the bats. Oh no. Not the bats. Oh. He smells Christian Bale. As from here, we'll get a full scout. Despite the Marines, there we go. He sees everything. The Fusion Core, both starports, and of course the would-be BCs. So he does see everything. With that, instantly we have the Spire on the way, spores are being thrown down. The queen production should be commencing here for Jumy to get as many queens as possible, and then it's going to be, I mean, I would say a pretty easy hold. The first BC does teleport across the map. He is going for the Spire. He's going straight for the Spire. No spore in position. Spire is being targeted down. Second BC is teleporting in. That Spire, it will not finish. Oh, does get a queen. Does get a queen. It does get a kill, not a cancel on the Spire. Second queen goes down. Where are the transfuses? Where the transfuse? Oh my god, another queen falls. And Jumy is losing too much here. It does go for the mule, does go for the mass repair. Yeah, the mules come in, repairs are popping up, and Jumy, he will lose every queen. Oh my god. Queens are going down. Oh no, he can't repair. He cannot repair. And the final BC is going to go down. Yeah, he's going to go down. The spore repositions. Massive pig on 2 BCs full. How many queens did he kill? 7. He killed 7 queens. And he almost got away with it. But the SimCity that was working against him, the mules could not repair. And with that, Jumy holds. Jumy, he does hold on. Spire is almost done. Now, what's important here is that Yeah, Hacker Stop, he did have some miscontrol, and unfortunately, that was all that he had, right? There's no like Hellion run by, there's no Hellion follow up, there's nothing else on the ground, there's only one factory, one Rax, there's only one tank, like there's nothing else to go across the map to harass. It's only purely BC, so Jumy can freely make Corruptors, from here. Does scan, does spot a straight base. Again, initially Hacker Stop, he was trading well for himself. He killed 7 queens, but again, he stuck around a little bit too long. The mules they couldn't repair. It's another queen. Takes out another queen. Add another. The last he teleported, so it teleports on cooldown. Takes down all 4 queens, but he will go down to the Corruptors. Corruptors will kill. You see Hacker Stop attempting to expand, going into mass racks. He's getting into a 7 rack setup. Trying to go into ByuN. Stim is done. True. Stim is complete. Now getting into combat shields. But Jumy's looking quite comfortable. Yes, Jumy lost a lot of queens, but he, for the most part, preserved the economy. And from here, he can start to drone up, start to saturate. Get up to 70 worker counts. I say 70, getting up to 80 drones. Now he can focus on his Lingbane. On Lingbane Corruptor. Checking his vision. Yep, he has a changeling he sees. He has a changeling in the main base. He sees all the Raxes. He knows. He is aware. And from here, he just has to build up Lingbane Corruptor. Speaking of, he's shocking around. There are 3 BC, so we could do with extra Corruptors. Let's 2 more Corruptors go down. If it's not careful, we'll lose all these Corruptors, actually. Another Corruptor falls. That's 3 Corruptors falling. Getting another. 2 Corruptors left. So Jumy has to rebuild his Corruptors. Likewise, double expanding. He's on 80 workers, so his economy is as it should be, or it's solid. And again, thankfully, Jumy, he isn't overmaking Corruptors. He's got 8 Corruptors on the way. That's going to be 10 in total. That is more than enough. Like 10 Corruptors, that should be fine. Again, it's all about that Lingbane. Make sure he is safe. From there, he can take up into Hive. We can see that he's going into this time. I don't know if I'm too fond of, but he's going into Hydra Lurker. So he's taking up into Lurker Tech. I mean, it'll still work for sure. Just a little bit more gas intensive. Typically, it's kind of difficult to invest this heavily into gas-based units, referring to Corruptors and Hydras and Infestors. Sorry, and Lurkers, I meant to say. He's getting there. Jumy building up. Fire. Here we go, does move in. Likewise, takes down the base, takes down the mineral line. He bleeds out a lot of Lingbane though, and he does not connect with the Marines. Jumy's in trouble. Jumy, at this point, he is in trouble. He needs Banelings back at home. He might be able to get away with morphing in some Lurkers, but now it's go time. Now he can stim and win, and he has to send it across the map here and now. Hacker Stop, there is no opening. That we get 21 Banelings in production. If these Banelings are finished in time, then these Marines can end the game. But the Banelings are almost complete. Yeah, they're almost done. He's deep on creep. Uh-oh. And here come the Banelings. Banelings, oh my, oh, killed the friendly fire. Massive connections. Yeah, Banelings, they crash on in. And with that, there's nothing left. With that, there's nothing remaining. Again, thankfully, there were plenty of Baneling reinforcements. They did morph in time. It was close. Close, but they were morphed in. And again, Hacker Stop, he just didn't have enough time to get into any bases. He didn't have enough time to get into any mineral lines. That was his one moment. And Jumy will run away with this. Should run away with this. Gets into the mineral lines. And with that, Jumy, he will overwhelm. And then we got to see a little bit more out of Hacker's stuff. A little bit more of his play. But GG gets called, and Jumy, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations. Jumy does claim the series, does advance on. Shout out to Hacker is top, of course, for showcasing his random prowess. And shout out to Jumy as well for meeting him there. For meeting him there and also getting into his own random play as well. GG. GG will play to Jumy. He will claim the series, and let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed, as I believe we have our next opponents. Oh my god, already! Jesus. Not much downtime at all here, but let's catch up with the bracket itself. From the top, we have ByuN. We have ByuN waiting for the winner of Ragnar and Coral Viper. They're currently facing off. They're currently mid-series. Scrolling down, we have Rebellion. Rebellion's up against Ledlix in the first round as well. They're facing off in a PvP. Percival takes down Sig 2-0. Now Percival's up against Jumy in the next round. That's going to be our next series. That's going to be our next matchup. The Vita's underway. Scrolling down, we have Creator. He's going to be going up against the winner of Lunacy and Azura. Meanwhile, we have Krystianer. He's up against his current opponent, Elevolts. And we have Nicorette up against Triple as well. So, once again, as you can see here, there's no notable Zurich players, which is the standard when it comes to online tournaments. Feels bad, man. And instead, we do have a plethora of Protoss and Terran. The top two seeds of the tournament are ByuN and Creator. ByuN is number 1, Creator is number 2. Can anyone stop them from facing off? The answer is yes. We have seen players like Nicorette, like Percival, like Krystianer, like Lunacy. We have seen these players like Jumy as well, of course, cause upsets and bring these players down. And we'll see if they can do that again. We shall see. It's going to be up to the rest of the boys to try and stop the Creator versus ByuN finals. Let's go. As we are going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our next series. We will have our PvT between Jumy and Percival. Oh boy. Just catching him in the chat. Super cool all around. Hope we have a repeat soon. For sure. Hope that's I mean, I know they have plans to make it an annual event, so hopefully they're able to do it again. Hopefully. Folks just wanted pigs with a real style Lambo. I did hear that that at the signing session, no one was really interested in Raynor, and Raynor, he was taking photos of people, taking photos of Lambo, with people getting Lambo's signature and Lambo's photo. Este Raynor. But to be fair, the context there was apparently he already had a signing session earlier, so everyone already had Raynor's like signature. They already interacted with him. It was all about Lambo. For now though, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Jumy and Percival. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. Welcome back to the quarterfinals here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 99, your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. Here we go. We are jumping into our second best of 3 of the evening, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have Isabella, we have the South Green Terran player, we have the Red Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 3, as we jump into our PVT. Here we go. We have our initial openers, we have initial setups here, and coming into this series, it's going to be a hard one to call. I think I lean towards Jumy, but I'll be honest, I haven't casted much of Jumy as of late. We've just been so engrossed in EWC and Fusion Esports League. We've been so engrossed in these big events that I haven't been able to catch too much of Jumy as of late. So great to see him here once again, and we'll see how he compares. Percival is hyper aggressive. Double gas opener out of Percival, going for a faster factory. Percival, he is typically one that is more aggressive on 2 bases, especially in this matchup. It's a little bit rarer to see Percival take a third. Now, we did cast Percival last night during the Wardy TV Monday during his series against Hearthstone, and we saw that Percival, he was forced into longer games. Hearthstone, he was going for non-stop charge based openers. So he was going Twilight Council into charge into Storm, just hybrid offensive play, and just shutting Percival's aggression down time and time again. I think it was a really good way to almost hard counter Percival. Percival, he thrives against more standard openers. If we see a blink based opener, if we see like 2-3 gate blink into a third base, like that is what Percival wants to play against. But if you stay on 2 bases a little bit longer, then Percival has a harder time actually being aggressive and actually finding any damage. So we'll see. We'll see how Jumy will approach Percival, as so far so good. So far, double gas, faster factory, now going into a later CC, later command center. From here, we can go into Reaper Hellion. There it is, Reaper Hellion's on the way. From here, we can go into a Starport, into an early Tech Lab. We can go into Widowmine drop, we can go into early Cyclone, add-on swap into Banshee play. We do have options here for Percival. We'll see where he takes us. Meanwhile, Twilight Council out of Jumy. Now, I know that Hearthstone, he was going for non-stop charge-based openers last night, but here I expect standard play. I expect Blink, not charged, out of Jumy. But we'll see. We shall see. As we're loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool, if we were loading into a smaller map, then I think there's more reason to get into charge, but here on Tokamak, should be Blink. As usual, that is going to go down. Meanwhile, yo, I shout to Kashim in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you, Kashim. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a great time over with the Fusion Esports League. Hope you had a good time. Hope the pizza was nice. And I just spoke about it. I just spoke about Hearthstone going into charge non-stop against Percival. Now we're seeing it here, charge against Percival from Jumy. And overall against Percival, I think this is a solid way to open up. Both Reapers and the Hellion does go down. Does get 3 probe kills, so it's a bit of a one-to-one trade here. 3 workers for 3 army-based units. I would say a better trade here for Jumy. At least Percival gets a full scout, but he doesn't know what we see. He doesn't know what's going to be charged. Now, as I mentioned before, against a player that's known for aggression, that's known for all-ins, I do favor charge as an opener. There's a bit of a give and take here. A Twilight Council into Blink, what does that provide you? I mean, with Blink Stalkers, you're able to shut down drop play. You're able to blink and chase down Medivacs. You're able to blink and chase down Banshee-based openers as well. Like, you have a more mobile army to kind of dip back and forth, protect your bases, and also counterattack and threaten blinks into your opponent and contain your opponent as well. Like, Blink gives you a lot of map control. But what it doesn't do, or what it can be a little bit more difficult when it comes to embracing and going up against, is these big 2-base all-ins. That's where something like Charge can shut down a little bit easier. Meanwhile, the boys are going to be pulled. Ooh, the Widowmines do arrive. So far, no major connections. 1 Widowmine goes down. There's 1 mine left. 1 mine remaining. Gets 1 probe. And with that, Jumy, he will defend. And charge almost complete. Behind this, Percival rushing into stim. Okay, really early stim out of Percival, earlier than normal. Does not go for an add-on swap into Raven or into Banshee. He's going early stim, early tank. This does look like an early push. Oh boy. And I want to say that Jumy should be ready for this. Storm is on the horizon. Again, Temple Archives into Storm. This is all on 2 bases, by the way. This is all on 2 bases. This is all before the 3rd. We're gonna have to warp in though. Jumy, he doesn't see the move out. Uh-oh. Jumy's playing blind. He's playing blind. He's in the dark. Jumy, once he sees his army, he needs to warp in. He's gonna get caught. He's gonna get caught out. Massive tank shots say do go up. Tank pull is going up. Jumy, he needs those warp ins. Warping in whatever he can. As Percival does spot the Observer. Keen eyes. Keen eyes out of Percival. Chases down the Observer. Likewise, we have more warp-ins. There we go, more zealots. And we pull the boys. We pull the boys. 2 base all in, out of Percival. Right now, we don't need an expansion. We need a warp in. Jumy doesn't know. Doesn't realize how much danger he's in. We need as many zealots as possible. He's banking up some resources. Gateway's just not getting power. There we go. When he's warping in. Oh, he expands. He gets a 3rd. Now is not the time. Now is not the time, as he does miss the move out. He does miss the rotation. There we go. The boys are now revealed. And the Archons, are they going to be enough? A massive Archon shots going up. Takes out the mineral line. That's going to be 14 dead SCVs. And he needs more zealots. He needs more zealots. He barely doesn't have enough. Yeah, barely enough. It's still so close. The final tank is going to go down. But you can see here, Marines, they barely do survive. We needed an extra couple of warp-ins here. It was close. It was close, and Jumy's holding. Not the cleanest hold, especially with the rally. True, the rally's coming in. Again, the base is not going to help here. So it was a kill, not a cancel on that shield battery. Jumy, he does hold for now. Say that again, Percival, he's not stopping. We need those warp-ins, as many as possible. More gateways on the way. What's going on? But Jumy does hold, and Jumy does have the greater economy. And hey, he does get away with a 3rd at least. Does get away with it. Could have done with extra warp-ins, and could have done with a more robust 2-base setup, but regardless, does survive. Percival dropping into the main. Jumy does spot the rotation. Does react. Does pull away. Island goes down. Island goes down. We do see Jumy catching reinforcements. He does scout the 3rd CC. So now he knows that Percival, he's trying to macro out of this as well. Now, as it all settles, as both players are expanding in their 3rd bases, I do favor Jumy for the time being. I say for the time being because there's still drop play available here for Percival, and he can still bounce in between the bases, and you can see how difficult it is for Jumy to deal with. Remember, he has no blink, right? There's no blink stalkers, only vanilla stalkers, so trying to keep up with the movement and mobility of Percival can be difficult. Storm is halfway done. Storm is halfway complete, so we do see Percival rotating. And we'll see if Percival can find some more damage. So he's rotating over towards the right-hand side. Zealot run by on the left. Percival here secure back at home. Getting in Ghost Academy. Here we go. Drop into the natural. Nothing in position. There's nothing here. Jumy, he's at the third. Jumy's at the third, not the natural. There we go. Does reactively warp in. Does warp in just in time. Whew. And Jumy's holding. Jumy, he's holding on. Forces back the drop. Percival expands. Jumy has Storm. And again, in a head-on fight, I favor Jumy. Right? Jumy, he's got Storm, he's got Immortals, he has charge lots. Working towards +1. I do favor him in those head-on fights. It's on Percival to try to pull him apart and slip into a base, slip into a mineral line even. Where are we headed? Percival rotating up. Scans the base army to the mine shots. Mine shots going off. Gets some okay connections, but overall, Jumy does hold. Jumy, he holds on, getting his fourth base up running. Jumy moving out. Let's move out. Nice catch. Catching out a handful of Marines. Oh no! Oh my god. Yeah, massive icon shots on the Medivacs. Medivacs getting very low. Percival, he pulls back. He does have a defensive setup here. Oh, nice feedbacks. Storm as well. Jumy, it's going to be awkward pushing into this position, but he can try to rotate. He could even try to deny the third. He pulls away. He rotates over. Blink is now done for Jumy. Do you have a Storm drop? Ooh. I'm not too sure how I feel about all 4 High Templar being in the prison, and not a single Templar being with the main army. It's a little bit concerning, as the Storm drop does hit the natural. Prism taking a lot of damage. So far, 8 SCVs, not bad. And there are less workers here in the main. Gets another 2. 10 in total. 10 workers go down. And this Jumy building up. Again, Jumy should be the first to max out. And as long as he has some splash damage, he should have that greater army as well. There we go. Double Robo, double Colossal production. Again, Jumy just getting further ahead. He's still holding on to those storms as well. Has the 4 High Templar in the prism. Oh, the ghost! Oh no, he gets 1! Yeah, it takes out 1 ghost. Storm does pop up. High Templar, they unload just in time. Yeah, saves the High Templar. From here, rotates in. Outside of EMPs connecting, Percival, he just cannot engage. EMPs don't quite land. We get an okay EMP, but oh god, the storms are popping up. And Jumy, he can push through. At this one, he can push through, but he's moving into a planetary. The planetary's holding on. At the same time, Zealot run by here and towards the third. Getting up by the Widow Mines. Nice catch on the High Templar. The Archon as well. Yeah, Percival taking a better fight here. Does defend, does hold on. Didn't really lose many workers. Jumy overextending, pushing into the planetary. Jumy has to back off. Behind this, Jumy taking more bases. Colossus, they're slowly building up. We're getting there. Colossus are amassing. Jumy, he lost most of his High Templar. These are 3 fresh Templar instead. Both armies are maxing out. Both armies are maxing. Jumy, for the most part, has map control and has a greater economy. I say, oh, Jesus. For the most part. Could do with more workers, to be honest, to saturate those bases. Jumy, calm down. Let's rotate nice EMP on the Colossus. He's also trying to force some friendly fire. Archon's going down. Yeah, the first Colossus is going to be falling. They barely do pull away. Nice control there by Jumy. Zealous there, A-moving on the CC. Yes, there's some wasted DPS. They're wasting the DPS here on the CC instead. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol. Colossus, they go down. Zealous, they do nothing. And Jumy, he blunders this attack. And he will lose everything. Yeah, he will lose everything here. Again, half his army was just attacking the CC. Wasn't adding any DPS, any value. He wasn't able to buffer. And Jumy, he's in a rough position. He lost far too much there. Este Jumy. Yeah, Jumy, he's down to 0 Colossus. He's got, what, 2 High Templar? Yeah, 2 Templar, 2 Storm. Percival, he moves out. And I don't know how Jumy can solve this. I mean, outside of Nova's, true. Nova's can pop up. EMP's going to be connecting. Oh, yeah, EMP does connect with the High Templar. But Jumy, he will hold. Again, thankfully, Percival is only fighting with a portion of his army. Everything else is back at home. Yeah, the Marines, like the main army, is back at home instead. And this is what Jumy needs. He needs to fight these armies like a portion at a time. Then he can recover. Everything else is back at home. So a better fight for Jumy. Jumy, he can recover. Building up those Novas, building up those Disruptors. Once again, we can see Percival here with just a drop. Getting caught out. Oh, a little bit trigger happy. Nova's on cooldown. One Nova goes off. No major connections. A better Nova towards the end. Gets 1 Ghost. 1 Ghost, 2 Marauders. And again, at this point, it just comes down to the Novas. When it comes to the Viking count, there's still 8 Vikings. Okay, still 8 Vikings. The Viking count gets any lower, then you can go back into Colossus. That's when there will be an opening. So let's rotate. First of all, he's a little bit overstimmed. Pushing into the planetary. Nice Storm. Very nice Storm. Nice Nova as well. Much better trades here by Jumy. Jumy pulls away. At the same time, oh god, at the same time, a brutal counterattack. Takes down an expansion. Prism, Observer. Nice little pickups. But to get a Nexus, we'll lose everything though. Getting locked down. Oh, okay. Nova's going up, getting 1 Ghost. Nice. Percival does pull away. Keeping Jumy busy. The map is being cut in half. At this point, Percival, he will need extra starports. Ideally, when you're in this kind of game state, you do want to go into your Infusion Core, which we do have, into Liberator range, into Mass Lib. But no Liberators yet here. Oh no! The Nova's going up. DC connections. Yeah, Percival not quite paying attention. He was focusing on his drop elsewhere. Speaking of running into the army, losing 3 Ghosts. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Ghosts going down. Brutal losses there for Percival. Percival, he has no bank. And that might just be too much. They're just going to try to zone away. Jumy not quite committing. He's just waiting for his reinforcements, rotating back around. Does find an expansion. And now we're making 4 Liberators out of time, but this might just be too late. There's a bully back. At the same time, forcing a recall. Does force a recall. Jumy racing on over. Trying to collapse on the army. Trying to. Losing an Archon. Here we go, Mass DT's coming in. Let's go. We get some decent EMPs catching Colossus. Nervous a somewhat connect. And crazy army. A lot of disruptors are exposed. And losing more disruptors. DTs, they hit the planetary. Planetary goes down. Oh, and the entire mineral line. 26, 28 SCVs. And 28 workers going down. First of all, his economy is being crippled. Losing more expansions. That was going up. Not quite connecting. Nice splits. Nice splits out of Percival. Another planetary goes down. And the mass DT popping up. As this is getting a little bit messy, but Jumy, he should have enough. He's got 3k in the bank, 4k in the bank even. It's mainly minerals. He's lacking gas, so yeah, gas income is not quite what it needs to be. Missing gas guys are here towards the left. Missing gas is here on the right. He's resaturating. Getting more bases. And this is what it comes down to. I mean, it's been very intense back and forth, and I would say that Percival, he's had some better fights here and there, but the economy, it's not really there. He has to rebuild the CCs, he has to resaturate his bases. Doesn't really have much of an economy to work with. As the Rays do set up. Decent storm on the left hand side. We're gonna be throwing away those zealots. So far there are plenty of disruptors. And Jumy, he will take the fight. Once again denies the CC. And that's all that matters here. Even if Jumy's like fighting inefficiently, it doesn't matter as long as he can deny the bases. That makes it worth it. As these Liberators are going to make it difficult to move in. It's going to make it difficult. We have more Liberators on the way. Jumy fanning out. Creation has arrived. Nice, very nice. Let's catch a ghost. Jumy getting into 4 Colossus. DC's from behind. Nervous they pop up. And Jumy, I feel like he finally has done it here. There's just not much on the ground left. You have Medivacs, Vikings, Liberators, but nothing on the ground. That's a one order. Does run into Liberation Zones though. Does run in. There we go, warping in 12 Stalkers at a time. These 4 Stalkers. And again, I mean, shout out to Percival for holding on as long as he has, but at the end of the day, he's down to 46 workers. His mining is being denied. He can't afford this, and Jumy blinks in. Does blink in. Takes down the Liberators, 1 Liberator left. The Vikings are doing what they can. But Jumy, he does it. There are Medivacs with nothing to support. GG, and Jumy, he will take game number 1. He will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Again, a bit of a messy start and messy mid-game is what I will say, where Jumy was barely holding on thanks to his charge-based opener, getting into early Archons, getting into early Immortals. He defended against the initial 2-base all-in, and Percival fell behind. To be honest, he fell behind after the failed all-in. Despite that, he was able to somewhat recover and max out and have a threatening army. If you remember, there was one big fight that Jumy did kind of fumble when he attacked the 3rd base, when the Zealots were on A move on the CC, and when he lost all the Colossus. Like, that was a really, really rough fight for Jumy, but Percival didn't counterattack. I mean, he did, but he only counterattacked with 3 Medivacs full of units. He left everything else back at home. Even though Percival had a massive army, he wasn't using it. He wasn't using the army. Instead, that army was staying at home. It looks like he was maybe a little bit afraid of a War Prism harassing his bases, so he was in the bases, and with that, Jumy, he recovered. Jumy, he wasn't punished. He was able to recover. He was able to buy enough time and rebuild, remax. GG. GG well played. And with that, we're now getting into our next game. Game 2 is going to be on Torches. Oh boy, we're going to be loading into one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, red Protoss himself, the German Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. See, like, hi in the chat. How often does this tournament run? This is a weekly tournament, every single week for, Jesus, how many years at this point? I want to say like 4 years. There have been hiatuses for the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but it's been running for a couple of years. And I mean, hey, this is the 99th edition. We're almost at 100. Almost at 100. Crazy. We're gonna have to do something special though for number 100, right? I would imagine. What do we do? I mean, the boring thing is to boost the prize pool specifically for the 100th edition. Like that's the easy thing to do. Do we do anything else with it? We could change the format, I suppose. But I don't know if there's much you can do about the format outside of like making it like double elimination or something like that. Which might make sense with a boosted prize pool, but at the same time, I don't know if we want to like make the event too long. Hello, Jumy. As Jumy does set up a proxy in the center of the map. Again, welcome one all to Torches. Torches is a very quirky map in the map pool, known for aggression, known for all-ins. You have these gold minerals in the center that you can mine through. We have the gold bases in the center as well. So again, you can be very cheeky here on Torches. And so far, we do have Jumy opening up. Let's open up. Let's have a look. Sparkling Tuna Cup. I want to say Sparkling Tuna Cup started back in 2021, right? I want to say. I could be crazy. No, sorry, 2022. Okay, that's when it started. February of 2022. Over 3 years. 3 years of tuna. Yeah, I guess we could have like a boosted prize pool, or I could play in it. I guess. I guess. I don't know if that would be a good idea. What else? We need to bring on a guest. I'll message Jumy. You know, that real talk, I need to message Yaku, of course. Yaku, he's of course one of our own, and if he's available, he hasn't casted in a couple of weeks or a month at this point. But it would be very fitting if he came on for the 100th edition. Gotta get Yaku on. It's been too long since we casted. As the initial proxy gateway is now up, we do see 2 gateways back at home, 1 gateway across the map, 3 gates, oh my god. Going for a 3-gate opener into the gold. Okay, Jimmy, let's go. Meanwhile, the CC is going to be delayed, and as we go see already with the initial stalkers, he will delay the command center. He forces that cancel. Oh my god, this is getting out of hand already. It's getting out of hand, getting out of control. Nice mind shot, takes out one of the stalkers, but there's still 2 stalkers left. Widowmine is now on cooldown. Marines are going to be going down. The Marines have to back off. Widowmine is going to fall, and right now, Percival, he's supply blocked. Oh my god. Was supply blocked for a moment. Is in danger, is in trouble. The Hellion barely is saved. But Jumy can keep going. They can keep pushing. Nice juggling with the medevac. Ooh. Adepts moving in. Boys are being pulled. Adepts take him into the shade. They get into the mineral line. Catching out some SCVs. Oh, the Hellion! Oh! They're going for the medevac even. Medevac goes down. There's no more juggling. No more control. Hellion falls as well. Marines, they do get into the bunker, thankfully. They do load off that bunker. And remember, Jumy, he's not one base all in. Remember, he has the gold. And he pulls the boys. He does pull a couple of boys. They're being transferred over towards the gold. There is going to be Cloak Banshee on the horizon. Checking the vision here of Jumy. Jumy, he does see the tech lab. He doesn't see the research yet. He has an idea as to what's happening, and there is a robo, thankfully. There's a robo for Jumy, so he has access to detection. This is where you get ByuN to STC to show up. You mean to cast? What, ByuN's in this? ByuN, he's in the bracket. What do you mean? ByuN's a regular. Unless you mean like as a guest caster, I guess. True. We'll get him on call. You like Tesagi? Like, Tesagi. Make ByuN cast with Krystianer. Ah, no. But exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys have not seen the bracket yet. Of course, the bracket is live, bracket is stacked. ByuN is in the ByuN is a regular in our tournaments. Players like ByuN, Solar, Showtime, Shin, Zaun. Those are the typical. I say typical. Those are like the semi-regular players that we do expect here. Top 2 seeds of this week's tournament are ByuN and Creator, of course. Here we go. Banshee hit the main. Not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 probes going down. Now, this is nice damage, but the problem is the gold. The problem is that even though Jumy's losing workers, the gold base does make up for that. Now, thankfully, Percival does establish his own second base. Percival, he's catching up. Jumy had a strong start, but Percival, he's recovering. He's recovering back at home. Banshee still being active. Jumy going for his own drop. But at this point, I mean, I feel like Percival, he is secure. I mean, he's got a Jesus. He's got a wall of bunkers on the way. Does have some SimCity. It's fully walled up. From here, Percival, he is building up, still building up into bases. Actually, there we go, third CC is on the way. I was still not fully convinced whether or not Percival would actually commit on 2 bases and just go for an all-in. Now we have the answer. He's going for his third CC, he's getting into a longer macro game. And Jumy will not be able to break this. Jumy, he cannot break this location, not on 2 bases. So Jumy, he's also expanding, he's building up with macroing. Despite the chaotic start to the game that we've had, we are slowing things down, and we're macroing out of this. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I could be macroing out. At the same time, though, Percival going for a massive doom drop, and Jumy, he's missing. I mean, he has observers, that's true, but he should have an observer here in the center. He has 2 observers with the main army. Yeah, observers out of position. There should be one here to catch this drop. Jumy's in the dark. He is following the Banshees at least. The natural, there we go, massive doom drop into the main, and going for the tech. Cannon goes down. That is Nartos' pylon. Going for the shield battery. Zealot's charge in. Brutal mine shots. Mine shots are going up. And it's a really awkward engage here from Jumy. Does get a nice storm though. Does land a nice storm. Jumy holds. Jumy, he holds on at the same time. Banshees are dealt with. Yeah, both Banshees went down. Percival breaking out. Percival, he does have momentum. Pushing on the left-hand side, it's so difficult for Jumy to defend both locations at once. I don't think he can. And he can't afford to lose this. Percival dropping into the main. Mineral line is about to go down. Jumy has to get the hell out of here. And Jumy's falling apart. Percival, he will take a lead, especially with his own third base finishing up. Percival pulls away. Kills the gold. Gets his own third. And Jumy, it feels like we're going for the all-in. Now, what I will say is that now that Percival has expanded here out in the open, it's a little more vulnerable. Like this position is a little more open, it's a little more accessible, so Jumy has a higher chance of breaking this position more so than the natural. Like the natural, there's just so many production buildings and so much SimCity here. It's so difficult to really engage with a Zealot-based army. And here comes Jumy, going for the going for the other gold. Yeah, storm. Doesn't want to waste those storms though. Matchup's going up. Storms coming in. Nice red here from Percival. Now going for the mineral line. There it is. Yeah, it does storm the mineral line. Ooh, one eye tablet goes down. Had a lot of energy, but that's going to be 11 SCV kills. Another storm popping up. Another 2 storms. Another storm towards the end. Pick up, but GG gets called. That was all that Jumy had left, and Percival ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. GG. We are going to game 3 again, an intense back and forth here. Jumy, he had a lot of momentum. Jumy, he was doing well for himself early on, but we saw that Jumy, he ran out of steam. He could not defend his 2 bases. He didn't have any vision in the center of the map either, so he did miss the massive doom drop as well, and he was torn apart. He could not maintain that gold base, and now we're getting to the ace match. We're going to be loading into a crazy map here, a rare sight. Up next, loading into Last Fantasy. Let's go. Last Fantasy, the final map here of the series. The ace match. Let's go. Here we go. As we're getting into... Oh, there we go. As we're getting into the ace match here. And again, Last Fantasy is going to be coming up next. This is going to be an interesting one here, as again, Last Fantasy is the most viewed map in the map pool. It is a 3-player spawn map. There are a lot of choke points. Likewise, there's a lot of speed zones in the center when it comes to rotations, when it comes to being aggressive through the center of the map as well. There are a lot of air blockers, so it can be difficult to be aggressive with Banshees and be aggressive with drop play. We'll see how our players will approach this. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top side of Last Fantasy, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the teal Protoss player. We have the German Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. Here we go. Oh, as Percival, he's opening up with a proxy. Okay, SV sent to the center of the map, and we're going for the proxy racks. Now, the reason why we're going for the center is because Percival, he doesn't know. His opponent could be right side or left side. Could be in either spawn location, so we proxy dead set in the center to be able to rally in either location to either location once he realizes where exactly Jumy is. So going for the proxy in the center. And we'll see if Jumy can get a read on what's going on. He is scouting the right-hand side. Jumy does go for the scouts. He'll find that Percival is not here. Meanwhile, we have double gases here from Percival. Now just going proxy Reaper. Reaper into what should be factory on the high ground, so it looks like a standard opener here. Yes, we do have a proxy Reaper, but this is not an all-in. This is not an all-in, this is not hyper aggressive, this is a way to harass, this is a way to apply pressure early on. A way to try to gain momentum. And to maybe get 1 or 2 probe kills. Jumy does get eyes on the factory. He now knows that the Rax is missing. Reaper has arrived. And does head into the main. It's going to be a Jumy here to reserve his probes. So far, he does pull away. Has control. Saves one. Oh, but he will lose the other. Yeah, one probe goes down. Late reaction there by Jumy. Does have a late reaction. More Reapers on the way. Hellions as well. Okay, but only double Reaper. So double Reaper here by Percival. From here, he's floating back. Does float away. And the game will continue. The game will continue. Percival, he has a little bit of momentum. He's killed 2 workers so far. He can go back in and try to get some more. Jumy does have 1 adept back at home. Percival does get a probe. Does get into that mineral line. Gets a volley off. Oh. Can be cleaned up. Checking the vision here, Percival, he actually didn't get to see the tech. Okay. Sorry, my apologies. Did see the Twilight Council on the low ground, so is aware of the tech of choice. Do we open up Charge or Blink? Is the big question here. Charge, okay, so this is gonna be a charge-based opener. Now, if you weren't here for game 1, this is the same build that Jumy went for in that first game. Now, as a reminder, what the pros and cons here? The cons are that he has no way to blink into the main base, to hunt down medevacs, to deflect and deter Banshee play, Raven harass, drop play as well is gonna be a little more difficult defense here by Jumy. But if Percival were to go for an all-in, that's where Jumy can thrive. He's gonna have a little more zealots. From here, he can go and take into Archons and take into Storm as well. He should be staying on 2 bases a little bit longer. So he's going to be playing 2 base. Again, just like what we saw in game 1. Percival getting into a second Cyclone, going for Cyclone Harass. Interesting. Assuming he goes for drops. I mean, he saw the Twilight Council. You typically wouldn't make Cyclones like this unless... Okay. Interesting. So I did mention that Jumy should be staying on 2 bases a little bit longer, and he should be, but Jumy, he is going for a ninja expansion. Okay, he does expand here on the right hand side. Bearing in mind that Jumy, he skips his regular 4th or 3rd locations. Does jump over towards the right hand side instead. So Jumy being a little bit greedy. The Cyclones, they're designed to be safe. They're just a really safe way to open up. They defend against Oracles, they defend against Stalkers. They can shut down the Prism. Jumy's on patrol. First, well, he does spot. Yeah, he does spot the patrolling Prism. Jumy not paying attention. Yeah, not paying attention. The Prism is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, full Prism falls alongside 2 Zealots. And Jumy not attentive enough. Okay, across the map, Jumy going into Storm. Going into Storm. You can see Percival, he's scatting for the 3rd. Oh, he sees the boys. Uh-oh. That was a bit of a tell. He saw there was no Nexus. To see that many boys being pulled is not normal. So that might tip him off. Otherwise, he might just think he's long distance mining and he's just now expanding. That's a possibility. They're ready to set up here outside of the bases. Cyclone Drop is coming in and he's checking. Yeah, he's gonna be. Oh, never mind. I mean, he's kind of checking. He's on patrol here. He will eventually scout the expansion. There we go. Does boost in and does find the Nexus. Does find it. Probe's gonna be going down. At the same time, we do have a double drop here towards the main. Jumy has limited vision. Drop does come in. It does unload in time. Forced to recall. Jumy's in danger. It doesn't recall much. A Storm. Storm doesn't quite connect. Yeah, Percival can just keep going. Mitchell going up. Okay, he takes out 11 probes. Okay, Storm towards the end, but these are brutal, I mean, expensive storms, I should say. There we go, another Storm on the drop. And here comes the main army. This is what I was worried about here. We just spent, what, 2-3 storms on the drop? Which means, how many storms are left? 4 Templar. Okay, there's 4 Templar. There's gonna be at least 3 storms. Jumy, he pulls back with the tank. He got 16 probe kills. Nice damage here from Percival. Jumy moving out. As he moves out, drop is moving in. Drop into the main. Catching up pylons, depowering the gateways. More gateways getting depowered. Does pick up, does boost away. Does boost away. Jumy, he is hurting. Ideally, in this kind of position, the Protoss play where they want to be up in expansion, they want to be up a base, up in economy. Percival, his third base has been delayed. That is true, but Jumy, his worker count is it's not where it needs to be. So here comes Jumy. He's got 6 High Templar. Mines are going up. Ooh, brutal connection. Prism is very low. High Templar goes down. Goes down to 2 Marines. There's about 5 Templar left. Storms are moving forward. Storms, they mainly zone away. Storms connecting with the Medivacs. Better Storm towards the end. Oh, but he stims in. Yeah, he stims in. Takes out every High Templar. All the Templar fall. Mortals are exposed. And Jumy's gonna lose everything. Yeah, he will lose everything. Percival just running through the speed zones. Does cash out the Immortals. And Jumy down to a handful of gateway units. He does have 2 High Templar, thankfully, on the high ground. But that was a big loss for Jumy. Losing 3 Immortals, losing 6 High Templar, and the Prism. And he's spread thin. Because of the Ninja base, Jumy, he is spread thin. Percival stepping forward. It's going up. Jumy, he's holding on at least. He's holding on. He's holding on. I mean, there's so little riding on these storms. There's so little potential. He's got 3 out of 10 bar left. All 3 of them are in the prism. At the same time, we do see a double drop moving out. Jumy pushing up the ramp. Percival, he does not have everything back home to defend. Does force a cancel. Does cancel the CC. Gets a tank. Pushes it to the mineral line. Catching reinforcements. Keeping them busy. But Percival, he does race back home. Nice storms. Very nice storms. Taking down most of the Marines. Cells are being cleaned up, and Percival holds. Yeah, he's holding on. The army is overstimmed though. Jumy forcing his way forward. But without any more storms, I don't know if he has enough. AMPs are connecting. Zelset barely trying to get through that choke point. Again, it's still close, but the Zelts are running out. Yeah, running out Zelts. Boys are being pulled. More Zelts have arrived. Okay, more Zelts have arrived. Jumy, does he have enough with the Zealots? He does. He barely has enough. He does force a pick up. Again, so much supply in medevacs, but it looks like Jumy, he barely breaks through. Again, it was a messy game with ninja bases, with the initial proxy, of course, as well. Jumy took some rough fights, but here he barely overwhelms. Denies the third TC. 16 SCVs going down. Jumy. He's doing it. Again, not the cleanest of games. Not at all. Very messy. Oh, yes, boys, they come back too soon. GG and Jumy, he will break through. He will break the back of Percival, and Jumy will advance on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Jumy, he will break through. Again, it's still a very, very intense couple of moments. So Jumy, he himself did have his own rough economy. It took him a long time to get up to 4 base saturation, if even that. And we saw that Jumy, he was able to break on through, barely overwhelm Percival across the map. Percival, he was so overstimmed. His army was battered, bruised. Sure, he had medevacs, but they were also very low on energy. And we saw that Jumy barely had enough. Broke the back of Percival. GG. GG, well played with that. Percival, sorry, with that Jumy does advance on. With that, Percival is going to be knocked out of the tournament. And we have some updates. We have to catch up on the brackets. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. It looks like the videos are done and we have our lower semifinals. The lower semis. It is going to be a best of 3 PvP between Creator and Krystianer. Let's go. Here we go. As Jumy does advance on to the semifinals. I will update that. Got you. And Jumy's waiting for the winner of ByuN and Rebellion. ByuN and Rebellion, of course, the 2 Korean players are facing off the Korean server in a TVP in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. The winner does advance on to face up against Jumy, and again, both semifinals will be casted. So we're going to be covering the lower semis first, followed by the upper semifinals. So Creator, he takes down Lunacy. Krystianer takes down Nicaract, and with that we have Creator and Krystianer facing off in the lower semis. Let's go. Vidas are done, and we are jumping into our fresh best of 3. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Percival, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Ooh, currently teamless, and currently the number 2 seed of the tournament, so one of the favorites to make a deep run and to maybe even win the entire thing. Can anyone stop him from making it to the finals? It is a Creator. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. The Krystianer himself, the player with the most Sparkling Tuna Cup wins under his belt. He is here, he is back, and we'll see if he can go any further. Krystianer, his strongest matchup is PvP. This is where he thrives. This is where he can cause some upsets. This is where he can bring down some big names. And I don't want to say that he is not without the capacity here to claim this series, but if you're in the chats, best of luck, because it is a gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our best of 3. Let's go. Jumping in. So far so good. We do have a 2-gate opener out of Krystianer. Meanwhile, we have a gate cyber expand out of Creator. So Creator, he's being a little bit cheeky. Creator is cutting corners, and we'll see if Krystianer takes the bait, and we'll see if Krystianer goes and responds with a 1-base all-in. Krystianer, he's here to block the expansion. He's forcing out the initial zealot. Forcing out the zealot. There's the pylon block. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of Creator. Stargate before Nexus. As he does focus on the pylon so we can expand. There is that Nexus. There's the expansion. And here comes 1-base all-in. Now again, winding it back here, going for a gate into Cybercore, going for a single gate opener here in PvP is asking to be all-in. So Krystianer, he scattered, he responded with his own pylon. We do have 2 gates so far. We should be going for another gateway across the map. For 3-gate 1-base all-in, potentially even 4 gateways as well. Meanwhile, Creator back at home, he is none the wiser. Creator, he's unaware. He does scout, and he has an idea that something is a little bit amiss. He did see the second pylon in the main, as that was a proxy 3rd pylon instead. It's a later proxy, a later all-in. But that does go down. 2 probes so far. There's a 3rd gateway. And here comes Krystianer. At the same time, back at home, there is that defensive shield battery. Krystianer, he is ready. He's ready back at home. They focus on the pylon. Pylon does go down. Nice pickup. And again, you can see here that we're just overwhelmed with the army. The oracles, they come back home to defend. But again, there's only 2 oracles. Oh my god. And 1 shot away from going down. The oracles, they do barely survive. Void Rays on the way. And Krystianer can warp in 3 stalkers at a time. Here they come. And here come those 3 stalkers. Takes over the low ground. Now, what I will say is that Creator, he did keep his units alive. Thankfully, he does keep them alive, so he can go across the map at 2 oracles. They can 1-shot workers. And Creator, he's going for the Nexus. This is giving Creator a lot of time, as Krystianer is not pushing up into the main. There we go, double oracle across the map. He can 1-shot probes. 1, 2, 3, 4 probes going down. On the one hand, yes, Krystianer, he kills the natural. At the same time, though, Creator, he cripples the economy. Does cripple the economy. Krystianer, he needs to gain more value here. So army does move down. There's the avoid overcharge here. The Prismatic alignment, I should say, from Krystianer. Shield battery does go down. I was like, Void Ray overcharged? Like, what the Prismatic alignment. There you go. He's going to be on cooldown. For one of them, at least. Oh, of course, they do threaten another dive. And both players are on one base. Now, we're stuck on one base here. No one can expand yet. Krystianer should be the first to expand, but so far has not done so. Void Ray is moving out as well. Uh-oh. Void Rays are moving out. Because of the force field, because of the sentry, Krystianer cannot push up this ramp, otherwise he'll be force fielded. Void Ray is going for the pylon. Sniper the pylon. Sniper the Stalker as well. Krystianer is in danger of losing another Stalker. Uh-oh. Yeah, down to 2 Stalkers left. There's the recall. Finally he does recall back home. And he should catch at least one Void Ray. We'll get the other. There we go, takes on both. That's still 6 more probe kills. And Creator breaks out. Creator, he breaks out. Now he can expand. Now we can clean up the proxy. And as it settles here, again, if it wasn't for the 2 oracles, like Krystianer, he would be in a commanding position. But he lost so many probes, and as a result, I give the edge to Creator. Both players expanded around the same time, and Creator, he does have the higher probe count. He's already long distance mining. Where's the prediction? Predictions, they should have already opened. We'll double check. Unless it didn't close properly. Yeah. If you miss the predictions, you miss the predictions. Like they they already opened and they already closed. Oh, ooh, brutal stasis. Stasis does go up. Creator buying a lot of time. Diving the Immortal. One Immortal goes down. There's one Void Ray remaining as well. And a second Immortal. Does blink away. Oracle's still alive. Oracle going back in. So that's the settling. Now from here, we're kind of building up in 2 different directions. Krystianer, he's going for a more gateway heavy composition. He has Blink and now working towards Charge. Meanwhile, Creator, he's building up his own Immortals. The Immortals are slowly building up every time I say that. Does Blink in, does miss control though. Yeah, it does misclick. One volley gets wasted. Immortal doesn't survive that much longer. But you can see Krystianer is trying to slow down that Immortal count. Trying to pick away at it the best he can. Gets a Stalker. See Creator trying to break out, does force a blink. Meanwhile, does hold on so far. Again, he's defending with the bare minimum here. 2 Immortals, 1 Void Ray. There's not really much to work with. But Creator, he's holding. He's holding the line. Does take his 3rd. Likewise, so does Krystianer. Both players expanding, both players saturating their 3rd bases. Charge now done for Krystianer. Moving in. Gets the Immortal, not bad. Yeah, one more volley. Takes down an Immortal, takes down a couple of Stalkers as well. Not a bad trade here from Krystianer. Trying to outposition. Oh. Again, trading as best he can. Making sure the creator does not snowball out of control. Again, if he builds up 3, 4, 5 Immortals, then it'll be insane. We just cannot get there. And it's all still on Krystianer to pick off these key units. Gets a sentry. Picks up a sentry, pulls away. Now getting into his own Robo, getting into his own Templar Archives. Working towards Archons. Krystianer's almost there. Oh, but now Creator's up to 3 Immortals. It's getting up to critical mass. Building up those Immortals. Morphing in his own Archons as well. And I have to favor Creator here in the main fight. Especially now that he's back up to 3 Immortals. Now remember, Krystianer, he does have the more mobile army, so as Creator moves out, Krystianer, he can counterattack, he can hit the bases, he can go into the natural, he can try to backstab and delay the push. Speaking of, oh, the Prism! Prism does pull away. Krystianer, he finds an Archon, not bad. One Archon goes down, and Creator, he does not turn around, he commits. Yeah, he commits across the map instead. He's going for it. Yeah, Creator's going all in. Krystianer is racing back. There we go. There's a recall. And do we have any Archons to defend this one? Oh, just one Archon. I don't know if that's going to be enough. That's a lot of charge. Let's see if a Creator. Ooh, Prism goes down. Denies the weapon. Denies the weapon. Nice snipe from Krystianer. Snipes the Prism. Tries to come in from behind. Immortals that will zone away. Stalker's going to be going down. As Krystianer attempts to surround. Takes out an Archon. Okay. Takes down one, going for the other. Yeah, both Archons do fall. 0 Archons left, and Krystianer, he holds. He cleans up the army. GG gets called. Whew, with the surround, with the concave, and Krystianer, he will take game number 1. Hi. GG, well played. Krystianer does take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense game 1. We saw the Creator, he was building up a much more robust army, but Krystianer did a great job coming in from behind. He sniped the Warp Prism, he sniped the Archons, he was able to force away the attention of the Immortals as well, and Krystianer did barely pick Creator's army apart. GG. GG, well played. With that, Krystianer takes a lead, and now we're getting into game numero 2. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. We're getting into game 2. Game 2 is going to be on ley lines. And again, a very intense game 1. Very intense. Let's go. So we go. Getting into ley lines here, and the pressure is on Creator. Is on. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss. Down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. Again, he is the number 2 seed of the tournament. He's meant to be in the finals, but he is stumbling here in the semis. Can he bring it back and force that ace match? It is a Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Offside Esports, leading the series 1-0 and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is Krystianer. Go. So we're getting into that second game. And again, as a reminder, what happened in Game 1? In Game 1, it began with Creator going for a greedy opener. Creator, he went Gate into Cybercore into attempted expansion. He was forced to throw down the Stargate. And how did Krystianer respond? With a proxy. With a one base all-in, going triple gateway. But he was not able to kill Creator. I will say that Creator did an amazing job at surviving, at counterattacking, and clawing his way back into that game and forcing a game out of that. Remember, Creator, he was contained on one base for quite some time, and he was able to break out, eventually expand, and get into the mid-game, alongside his opponent, of course. But it was Krystianer with the more mobile army who was just non-stop sniping Immortals, sniping key units, sniping Archons as well. It was so important that Krystianer was as active as he was to slow down the army buildup of Creator. Hello. As Creator, he does hide his second pylon. And Krystianer, he scouts. So Krystianer, he's looking. You can see here, he's looking for the pylon. He's trying to figure out, he's like, hold on. Something's wrong. Where is your second pylon? It should be here, and it isn't. Which means it looks like a proxy. It looks like a one base all in. We can see it's a fake proxy pylon. This is this is, I would say, relatively common, or at least not too outside of the realm of possibility here in PvP in the meta to go for a fake proxy pylon. At Krystianer, it's on him to determine, is it real or is it fake? As Krystianer does pull back, opening up Stalker Sentry. You can see he's searching. Yeah, you can see he's looking for the proxy. So he's scouting towards the top side, looking for a proxy Stargate. And the hallucination moves right across the map, and the hallucination will confirm whether or not there's an expansion, whether or not there's further tech. We can see the Nexus on the way, and this hallucination, upon seeing this, will confirm there is no committed all-in or any committed proxy. As he confirms. There we go. Does not confirm. Setting up on his own low ground. It's a simple choice, going for a Twilight Council. Hallucination did confirm. And now we can settle in. Coming into this, Krystianer, he did have a bit of inefficiencies, as he did have an extra probe out scouting, not mining workers. That does give a bit of a boost to Creator. But overall, Krystianer did get the faster expansion, did get the slightly faster Nexus. No fear. No fear. Cristiano Ronaldo, sí, papi, sí. Ah. Exactly. Not Messi. Not Messi. Who would be Messi in this kind of scenario? Would it be Geralt? It would have to be Geralt. It would have to be. Ah. I don't know if he fits. Don't know if he fits that kind of archetype. As here we go, we do have the Dark Shrine here, bottom right. Does go for that. Maybe Mana. Mana could be Messi. True. I could get behind that. I like it. I like it. As Krystianer does open up Twilight Council, going for Blink, but does go for the Hidden Dark Shrine, going for the Invisible Man, going for the DTs. Cheeky build here by Krystianer, does go for the Proxy Pylon. Meanwhile, Creator thankfully does go for the Robo on 2 bases. Does go for the Robo. With this, he'll have access to detection. He should not just instantly die, and he's scouting. Oh, he does see. Yeah, he does see. He does come from the pylon. He will shut this down. There's a cancel. And the Dark Templar going to be delayed. It would have been close. It would have been close. If the DTs were proxied. The Robo is almost done. Otherwise, they'll be warping in as we speak. And they could even try to focus on the pylon and depower the Robo. But not anymore. Both players are expanding. We're getting into the mid-game. As we get into the mid-game, I do favor Creator, as he is going to be building up those Immortals, but I just realized if he's going Immortal first, that means no detection, no Observer. Ooh, hallucination, does he notice? Does he? It looks like he may have. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did notice. Observer's on the way. Hallucination to get eyes on the Shimmer. So keen eye is there from Creator. The Observer does well out in time, and Creator, he should hold. It's a nice scout from our Korean Protoss. moving in. But again, now there's 2 observers, EZTs, they should not get anything done. They get spotted.
Base is under attack.
At the same time, we do see the Stalker trying to move in, but again, Creator, he's all over this. Dark Templar cleaned up, and they get 3 probes, 4? 4 workers, that is not worth it. It's not worth the Dark Shrine and the Dark Templar. And how the game will continue. Game does continue here. Now, thankfully, remember, Krystianer, he had the faster natural, and likewise, he does have the higher worker count as well. So he does have that slight economic edge. I still favor Creator when it comes to his main army, just because of that 1 immortal. Just the 1 for the time being, but I mean, it will help. Will add a lot of DPS. Prism is on the way to reinforce. Just like the last game, it is right now the pressure is on Krystianer to try to be active with his army, to try to pick off some key units. Like sentries, immortals, war prisms. It is on Krystianer. It's found. Krystianer does move through the center. Try down mid. There's a recall. Is that recall? Creator does move out. Catching a Stalker. Catching a Stalker already. Creator getting 4th expansion. So is Krystianer. Krystianer is faster. Krystianer, he does miss the main army, does get an Archon, but here we go. Here comes a base trade. Creator does go for the 4th. At the same time, so does Krystianer. Going for the 4th and going for the 3rd. Okay, let's go. Yeah, we're coming to the base trade. So far, Krystianer, he does hit the bases faster. Does get in. Bases are falling. At the same time, Creator going straight for the natural instead. He ignores the 3rd. Actually going straight into the main. Okay. He does run straight in. At the same time, Prism also in the main base as well. Again, time is of the essence. Getting into the bases. Are we hiding any probes? Are we hiding any workers? Bases are going down. Probes, they do escape. And Krystianer, he has money. Yeah, he has money. There we go. Oh, 1 probe! 1 probe gets away, just barely. 1 worker does get away. And we can see Creator is racing back home. He's racing back. Zelda getting picked away at. Krystianer, he can always try to recall as he does have a base. Oh, the probes! Yeah, but he can try to recall. There it is, does recall back home, but he does abandon his zealots. Only recalling half his army. Oh, the movement! Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it does move command. Stalkers are being thrown away. Miscontrol here from Krystianer. Throws away a bunch of Stalkers. I mean, every unit counts. Yeah, Krystianer is getting caught out. These zealots are being thrown away. Just a messy setup here from Krystianer. He cannot fight head on. And Creator, he should have this. Creator, he will have this. Again, the base trade was the best chance that Krystianer had. He's racing back home. Creator, he has Archons, he has Immortals. He has the greater army. Krystianer is trying to engage. Does have a shield battery. Yeah, Zelda move out across the map. Stalkers, they fall back. He does have 4 shield batteries. Okay. He's got a good amount of shield batteries. Zelda turn back around. Krystianer, can he take this fight? It's going to be close. Oh, the Prism. And Prism will try to tank some shots. Hey, does tank some volleys. Okay. Prism goes down. Zelda as well. There's still, what, 4 shield batteries. Krystianer, he can try to go for the dive. The Immortal's very low. Does he go for it? He's thinking about it. The shield batteries are going down. Immortal does fall. And without that Immortal, if he had more shield batteries, then maybe. Krystianer cutting back. Does kite well. Archon taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. He has a better concave. And Krystianer, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he does take the fight. Takes down the Archons, takes down the Immortal. Krystianer, he barely holds on. And Krystianer, he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG. Well played, Krystianer. He will claim the series. A very, very intense series here. Very intense game. GG. GG, well played. Very intense back and forth, a brutal base trade. And again, Creator, he had the better army, he had the greater army, but Krystianer, he bought time. He bought enough time for what? For his shield batteries. Buying enough time for those 4 shield batteries at the natural base was pivotal, honestly, to that defense. He was able to buy time, able to come in for the surround as well. A very, very intense back and forth. And again, that could have gone either way. I was favoring Creator towards the end there, but he was losing those key units, right? He was losing the Immortals, he was losing the Archons. In the end, he was running out of steam, and GG, well played. Whew. Krystianer, he will take it. He will take it, he'll advance on to the grand finals, and the question becomes, who will face off against him in those finals? Let's go. Let's catch up on the bracket. Here we go, we have some updates here. Oh my god, Rebellion! Rebellion took a map. He took a map off of ByuN. Very impressive there. As Rebellion does go down, but he did not go down without a fight. ByuN does take down Rebellion 2-1. And now we have ByuN versus Jumy coming up next. Coming up next in the semifinals. That is going to be our next series. That's going to be our next best of 3. Oh boy, vetoes are underway. As they are going to be facing off. And they're going to be facing off for the best 3. We're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our semis. It is going to be, again, Jumy versus ByuN into Krystianer. See you soon. See you soon after the break. Whew. Hey. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 99. 99 Tuna Cups, baby. That's crazy. That's crazy. We have made it. We're over 3 years into our weekly tournaments, and now we're here. Now we're back with the semis. We already have Krystianer. We had a crazy upset already with Krystianer advancing on to the grand finals. But who will face up against him? Will it be a Protoss? Will it be a Terran? Wait. Wait, well, hold on a moment. That's not right. Right. Hi, let's go. As sporting in the bottom, sporting in the bottom left-hand corner here of Ojala, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shop Rebellion. It is ByuN. I can't speak to him. Here we go, and sporting in the top right-hand corner, we have usually a Protoss, but here he is as a Zerg player, representing Streamer Zone from the land of Germany. It is a Jumy. And he did pick Zerg, he did not pick random this time. Let's go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Play show bets on who you think will claim the series. Now remember, coming into the, and ByuN knows, yeah, ByuN knows he's got opening up 2 ranks, so 2 ranks Reaper out of ByuN. Now coming into these semis, Creator, he was favored. He was favored to make it through, to make it into the finals, and Creator was shut down by Krystianer. Can Jumy also cause an upset? I believe he could. I believe he could cause an upset with his Protoss. But here he's clowning, he's memeing with Zerg instead. I'm less confident, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit less confident here, but we'll see as we open up with the early pool, with the early gas, with the late hatchery into the Roach Rush. Okay, so we're going for a Roach Rush. At the same time, though, Reactor Reaper Hellion. This is going to be difficult for... actually, I was going to say this is going to be difficult for Jumy if ByuN does commit to additional Reapers, but alas, he is actually going for a handful of Reapers into the add-on swap into, I'm pretty sure, Marine production, which means Jumy, he can pull this off. If he can get away with this unscouted is the question. Reaper is on the way. Roaches are amassing. And currently, ByuN, he has no idea. ByuN, there's no bunker. There's no bunker. He's going for add-ons. He's going for the reactor, going for the tech lab. ByuN has no idea. He needs to confirm. And he goes further in. He knows. Yeah, he does see the roaches. And we need the bunker. We need that bunker as soon as possible. There we go. Bunker on the low ground. This is the typical ByuN response. Bunker. Now, the reason why the bunker is on the low ground here is because he's protecting his add-ons. He's protecting the reactor. He's protecting the tech lab. So he does go for the bunker here on the low ground. Likewise, he can also pull some boys to repair as well. So this is the classic ByuN response. Here's the low ground bunker. We'll see if he does pull any boys. The roaches have arrived. Ling's going to be going down. Does kill the SCV. Yeah, nice snipe there on the SCV. Likewise, bunker is tanking shots. Bunker is almost done. Roach is going to be going down. Gets 1, 2, 3. Yeah, shut this down completely. The Immortals, the Roaches arrive just in time. They shut down the Roaches. And ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on. And Jumy, he's now droning. Ay. Oof. Late workers here for Jumy. He's trying to drone, trying to saturate. Now getting to his own link speed. He did not do enough damage though. And this is what's scary. The stim timing here that ByuN is going for the eventual 2-on-1. Sorry, the eventual 3 racks? The eventual 4 racks? Do we go for 4? I'm feeling a 4th racks behind this, but this is going to hit like a truck. And here comes ByuN. Here comes ByuN. ByuN is moving out. He rallies across. Does rally across, takes down one of the overlords. ByuN moving in. And Jumy's going for a second all-in. He's going for a secondary all-in here. See some in the chat? I have a question. Is SC super popular in Australia? I hope so. I would say no, unfortunately. There was an Australian scene quite some time ago, but yeah, right now the Australian scene for SC2 is very small. It's very small and very niche at the moment. Unfortunately. There are plans to host more LANs in Australia, and they might be able to gain some interest and gain some popularity for sure. But they got their work cut out for them, is what I will say. So best of luck to those working behind the scenes at ANZ Champs. Sorry, not ANZ Champs. At Ozcraft. Best of luck. It's not going to be easy to bring it back, but I do look forward to it, for sure. Look forward to it. As again, Jumy has not been joining. Jumy, he has not been joining this entire time. Jumy just rallying more lings, more roaches, more ravagers across the map. And here we go. Does come in, does collapse in on the army. Trying to go for this around. The Biles, they will not connect. Yeah, it doesn't connect. GG gets called. ByuN, he shuts down the all-in, and ByuN takes a 1-0 lead. GG. GG, well played with that. ByuN, he will take a lead in the series, and oh boy, again, Jumy showcasing his Zerg. We'll see if he commits to Zerg. He can switch if he so chooses to, but it's up to Jumy. It's up to Jumy. Does he switch? Does he not? Let's go. Este Jumy. Okay. What is Jumy doing? All in. He's going for the all in. He went for the initial Roach Rush, then he went for a Ling Ravager all in follow up. Put it all on the line, and we'll see what he goes for after this. I did ask Jumy if he got some food. He did just have some breakfast. He got Krautspatzel. Krautspatzel. Making me hungry back. Yeah. I posted it in the chat. This is what Jumy just ate. Is it influencing his decision to play Zerg? Maybe, maybe. But did let us know. Just had some breakfast. So we're getting into game number 2 here. It looks like Jumy, he's committing to Zerg, by the way. He's committing to Zerg. He's not stopping. Let's go. Jumy, he was like, go, 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 ZVP. And then ByuN's like, me, Chobo. ByuN, he's not confident with his Protoss. No. So ByuN, he's sticking to his main race. Meanwhile, Jumy once again is going for Zerg, not Protoss. Oh boy. Here we go. This morning, in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German, typically Protoss player, but here he is off-racing as Zerg. He's down in the series. Can he bounce back? Can he bring it home? Representing Streamer Zone, it is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. Here we go. Did you see him off race before? We have seen Jumy off race in the past. Infamously, Jumy, he did he 12 pull Krystianer? I want to say it was an OSC King of the Hill in the best of ones where Jumy did all in Krystianer with a 12 pull. I think it was a 12 pull drone pull. So we have seen Jumy off race before. Also, what's going on? Hold on, I'll whip out the Google Translate. I'll whip it out. This is when like ByuN, he's like responding to like whispers, but he's just running an all chat. Okay. ByuN said "Annyeong haseyo" with the first line. Second line, he said "I'm a fool." He was saying earlier in the lobby chat how like he wasn't very confident with his he wasn't very good with his off race. He was like, no, my off race is bad. Yo, Jumy with the Google Translate. Let's go. 2 people once again, by the way, from ByuN. Alright, this next line. Jumy just said, you will now be dealt with by Zerg. ByuN said, thank you. That comes salida. Oh no. Okay, what's the next line? Jumy, he said, how far will the Wizard of Aya go for you? ByuN said, you are a fool. Oh no. Let's go. Behind this at Jumy, he is going into Link Speed. He stays in gas. Okay, he stays in gas. So ByuN, he's going 2-Rack Reaper. He's going for the same build. 2-Rack Reaper into a 3-Racks follow-up into a Stim Timing. Meanwhile, Jumy, he is going for additional gas income. This means one of two things. Either a Bane Bust or a Roach Rush. One of two things. What is this gas going to be spent on? You don't mind this much gas for nothing. Not typically in this matchup. As Reapers, they poke in. They take down the first tumor. Oh no. Este Jumy. Yeah, the first tumor goes down. I mean, that is a very nice pick off here for ByuN. Jumy, he doesn't like it. No. Reaper's poke in. They poke in. We do have Stim on the way. We're building up more Marines. And this is going to be a brutal timing. Now, when it comes to Jumy and his gas income, and he's still mining a lot of gas, by the way, he is going for a Bane Bust. So we have the answer. We now have the answer here. We were curious, what is that gas going to be spent on? He's going for an all-in. He's going for one massive Bane Bust here. So Jumy, it's all or nothing. Does get a third base. Now, what I will say is that Jumy, he's done a better job at hiding the build. He's done a much better job here at hiding the build, at hiding his aggression. He's going for a third expansion as well. ByuN, he hasn't really seen much of anything so far. He doesn't know. As a result, no bunkers. There's no bunkers here. He has the bare minimum to defend. I mean, he's building up an army, that is true, but he has no foresight as to what's happening. Not yet. You know, shout out to the tuna. The big tuna. As ByuN, he breaks out. Takes off a couple of Zerglings. And Jumy, where are those Banelings? I'm morphing in 7. 7 Banelings on the way. They just have morphed in. And can Jumy so he gets caught out. 1 Baneling does 4. Now 6 Banelings left. And what does he go for? As his army is split. Going for the add-ons. Attempting a surround, but he's beating out a lot of Zerglings. Banelings, they try to connect. Nice stutter stepping. Yeah, nice control. Every Baneling is denied. Not a single one connects, and with that, ByuN will take the fight. He'll take the fight. He will snowball out of control. Takes on every single Zergling. Takes on every single Baneling. GG gets called. The Bane Bust fails, and ByuN, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Jumy attempting his off race here, having some fun as well, going for non-stop all-ins. Looks like Jumy not too confident against ByuN. He didn't like his chances, so instead of try-harding with his Protoss, did opt to switch to his Zerg instead, and a bit of a lackluster performance here. But you know, I'm sure had some fun, and I'm sure ByuN had a good chuckle out of it as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does advance on to the grand finals, and he does have an opponent waiting for him, a player that has already caused a massive upset. If you weren't here earlier, then you missed out. You missed out on a crazy PvP! Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us switch our scenes over, and here it is. I'll try to make this a little bit neater. Hold on. I'll try to, there we go. We'll make this a little bit neater. Here it is. Oh, as you can see here on the lower bracket, Krystianer, he took down Nickrat, he took down Creator. He 2-0'd Creator in a very intense PvP. And now we have our grand finals best of 5 between ByuN and Krystianer. Let's go. Let us go. Let us go. So ByuN and Krystianer, they're going to be facing off in that best of 5, and we'll see who comes out on top. Of course, ByuN is still the favorite player, but hey, Krystianer already took down Creator. Can he take down ByuN? Now, of course, it's a different matchup. True, different matchup, different dynamic, but we have seen Krystianer take it to ByuN before. Again, these two are regulars in our tournaments. For those that are maybe a little bit unfamiliar with the history of our tournaments, Krystianer and ByuN, they are the two players with the most wins under their belt in Sparkling Tuna Cup. In the history of 99 Sparkling Tuna Cups, the top 2 players in our tournaments are ByuN and Krystianer. They've won the most out of anyone else out there. They've got each like almost like 30 wins apiece. I'd have to double check for specifics, I should say, but they are number 1 and number 2 respectively. I want to say Krystianer might have a couple more wins over ByuN, and we'll see who takes the win this time, this week. Let's go. Let us go. Now, before the grand finals, you know what time it is. We do something special for our tournaments. We have a raffle. We have a random raffle. Here we go. If you're unfamiliar, when it comes to our weekly tournaments, when it comes to all of our tournaments actually, we do have a random participation raffle. This is 5 USD. 5 USD goes to a random player that did compete tonight. Now, as a reminder, there is a prerequisite. The player must have actually played their games. If you sign up, if you check in, and if you forfeit your matches, you are ineligible for the random raffle. You're ineligible, so you have to have played your games and played your matches. I don't think there was no walkovers. There was no walkovers here this week, so everyone is eligible. We have our 17 players, and one of them walks away a little bit richer. Let's go. Here we go. This week, the random raffle winner is... Oh, a regular. Does often show up in the chat and often shows up in our tournaments, even our amateur tournaments as well. Congratulations to Ragnar. Ragnar does walk away 5 USD. Richard, shout out to Percival, shout out to Triple, Krystianer, Lunacy, and Jumy. You can see they just barely did not make the cutoff there for the random raffle. And bam, where was I have to open up the bracket actually to show this off. There we go. When it comes to Ragnar, he took down Coral Viper in the first round, took him down in the first best of 3, and Ragnar, he actually went down to ByuN. You can see there at the very top of the bracket, Ragnar did go down to ByuN in the round of 16, so it may have gone down to ByuN, but hey, walks away with 5 USD. GG. GG, well played. Does walk away with 5 USD. Congratulations. And again, every week we have a random raffle, so hey, if you're out there, if you want to take part, if you want to gamba a little bit at a chance of getting 5 USD, yeah, you can do so by signing up. So congratulations to Ragnar, as we have our players ready. As a reminder, this is a best of 5. Vetoes are done. We are jumping into game 1 of the series. Let's go. Here we go. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss player. The Red Protoss player himself, from Atlanta, Poland, representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, ByuN is a favorite player. For sure. ByuN, he is the heavy favorite in this tournament. But did you notice something in the bracket? Hold on. Un momento. I just want to bring it back a little bit here to our bracket. If you forgot, look at that. Look at that here in the quarterfinals. ByuN, he dropped a map. He already dropped a map in this tournament. To who? To Rebellion. Rebellion is a Korean Protoss player. So hey, if Rebellion can take a map, and if he can make a series out of it, I want to believe that Krystianer can as well. So I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping that we get a game 4 and a game 5. I'm hoping that we don't get a one-sided 3-0. But here we go. The pressure is on. As for now, we are going for an economic opener. You can see here single gas. So single gas opener ranks into expansion out of ByuN. Now ByuN is known for this. We talk about this all the time, but out of all the Koreans out there, out of all the Korean Terrans or just Terran players in general, ByuN is the most macro oriented. If you take into consideration players like Percival, Bunny, Maru, Gumiho, Ryung, Kyor, all those players are so much more prone to going double gas into a 2-base setup, into a 2-base all-in, or even just rack expand into 2-base all-in. Like, they're so much more willing and fond of going for these more committed 2-base plays. ByuN, I would say, is the player that is least likely to go for those builds, and most likely to get a third CC and get a third base up and running and get into the mid game. That is what ByuN is known for, specifically in TVP. Specifically in TVP, he's known for his mid game, and it's not like he's a passive player. Don't get me wrong, he's not a passive player. He's one to go into the mid game, but once he gets there, that is when he is hyper aggressive with drop play. Like, that's where he excels, with drop play, with counter attacks, with harassment, Raven harass, Banshee harass, drop play, Widowmine drops I should say, bio drops as well, pulling apart his opponent with mass APM, with mass speed, with his mechanics, of course, if he can get there. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener at a Krystianer. Does go for his Twilight Council. Also, I should emphasize, not saying that ByuN never goes for 2 base all-ins, but he's less likely to do it than the other top Terran players. Less likely than the others. But Epsay will threaten the mineral line. So far, so good. Mining is denied. Gets 1 Marine so far. Gets 2 Marines. 2 Marines for an Adept, and it looks like the final Adept is going to be forced out. And behind this is going to be a Blink base opener. Now, this is a breath of fresh air. We've been casting a lot of TVPs over the past couple of days, and we've been seeing a lot of charge base openers out of both Jumy and Hearthstone. That was specific against Percival and against Home Mono as well. Those were just hyper safe, hyper defensive openers. This is something more standard. 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink, Robo on 2 bases into a bit of a later 3rd base. But again, this is just a very safe way to play, very safe way to open up, and does get you into your 3rd expansion. Here we go. As ByuN does move out, we do have Hellion towards the left-hand side, meanwhile drop on the right. And we do see Krystianer, he does fully wall off. He fully walls off the natural. Job is coming in. And so far, Krystianer is keeping up. So far, so good. I say that the 3rd base is under fire. Hellions, they try to break in. And the base is taking a lot of damage. Krystianer, he's out of position. He cannot defend. Yeah, he cannot defend the expansion. Blink is done in 1 second. Blink's out to the low ground, but the base is getting incredibly low. And here we go, we drop into the main, we load up into the main base. Hellions are going for the mineral line. Ooh, oh god, probes are lighting up. And 4 Hellions, they kill 3 Hellions, they can one-shot probes. Then we got 7 probes going down, 9 probes even. Getting 10, getting 11 towards the end. Ay, ay, ay. And again, initially Krystianer, he was defending well until this moment. Until this 1 Hellion drop into the main. 11 workers go down. Krystianer, he does go for his counterattack. There's not much of him to defend, but there we go. He does come down from the main. He's got 3 SCVs. That is nice, but ByuN will hold. And ByuN comes out ahead. ByuN, he does have the better economy, higher worker counts. He's on 2 bases. Building on up. Here we go. He's building up on 2 bases here, working towards Stim, +1. Getting to his own bio army, bio setup. Is that Marine stuck? No. Feels SimCity, man. The one. Oh, wait. Oh, no. He squeezes out. Okay. Never mind. Good to go. Can squeeze out. And meanwhile, the tank is exposed. No bunker. Ooh, no bunker here on the low ground. Tank does go down. Nice pick up here from Krystianer. He has to get the hell out of here. At the same time, we do have a drop across the map. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Trying to force a bit of friendly fire. But the Raven does get 2 probes. And oh good, as Krystianer here extends, please add 2 more stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, suddenly not as worth it. It's 4 stalkers going down. So far, 13 probes in total. But you can see here that... Does this center Rax not have a rally? It does. Okay. Shifting things around. There you go, 3rd CC is on the way for ByuN. As we mentioned, ByuN, he's the one that's most likely to expand and get a 3rd CC out of any other player out there, out of any other Terran player out there, I should say. 3rd CC is on the way, he's not going for the all-in. As ByuN, he pulls the boys, saves the bunker, saves the depot. Does siege up, does hold. And the pressure is still on Krystianer to get some more damage done. He has gotten some value. He's gotten a tank. He's gotten a couple of SCVs, but so far it's not good enough. Behind this, Krystianer is on 3 base saturation, now getting a 4th. Behind this, Storm is on the way. to Storm. Yeah, ByuN is breaking out, and I'll be honest, I don't think Krystianer can stop him. I think the best that Krystianer can do it for is to force him back home. As we have a Prism moving out, if he can force ByuN to turn around, that'll be ideal. You see Krystianer knocking down a tower. ByuN, he loads up, which means he doesn't really have much of him to work with. He turns around. Yeah, he turns around with the drop. Krystianer goes for the warp in into the mineral line. And these also getting damage done. At the same time, ByuN, he doesn't move out. He stays in the center of the map. Also drop back over. But for the most part, this is dealt with. This is dealt with. ByuN now moving further in. Storm is now done. True. Storm is complete. Krystianer does find one of the tanks. One tank goes down and going for the other. And second tank does barely fall. Nice big off. Saves the High Templar. Nice control there from Krystianer. Does save the Prism. More Stalkers warping in. Krystianer does take a bunch to the face. Storm's coming in. A decent storm on the main army. The other storm mainly turns away. A little bit lackluster. But Krystianer, because of the harassment, because of the engage in the center, he saves his third. And he gets a fourth. His fourth base is now on the way. Oh. Storm once again turning. Holding on. See a nice concave here. Out of Krystianer. Sorting ByuN away. It does hurt him back. A couple of boys are being pulled. ByuN getting a little bit desperate. Do we have another storm though? No more storms. No, one more storm would be ideal here. No more storms. Still better concave for Krystianer, forcing his way in. And the Archon does get targeted down. Oh, brutal EMPs. Brutal EMPs on the Stalkers. Immortal taking a lot of damage. Do we have another Warping of Zealots? We need that Warping. Oh, no, the Immortal! The Immortal gets caught out. Krystianer trying to go for the CC. Trying to. Once again, we're still missing that Warping. Krystianer, he's banking up. He's banking resources. There we go. Zealots, they do arrive from across the map. There's the Warping of Zealots. Boys are being pulled, and Krystianer, he's close to breaking ByuN, but alas, I cannot quite break through. Gets 13 SCVs, does not get into the mineral line. ByuN, he's holding on. There is one High Templar. There's one Templar in the Prism. If he goes up. Storm mainly zones, doesn't quite connect, it grazes the army. Another EMP, and ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he holds on. Again, that storm was not good enough. Storm wasn't enough. Oof. Mortal goes down. And ByuN, he holds, he survives. He does go for the Mass Mule Hammer. Again, if Krystianer could deny the third base, then maybe. There was so much there that he was just barely lacking. Whether it was just one extra storm or an extra Warping of Zealots as well. As this time is looking terrifying for ByuN. He's now up to 7 Ghosts, 10 Marauders. That's an army. ByuN moves out. As he moves out, we have the Prism into the natural, Zealots towards the third, and Stalkers through the center. Warping does complete. Krystianer, oh no, he has to blink away. Does blink away. SCVs, a couple of them are going down, but this is going to be an expensive trade here for Krystianer. There's the recall back home. Ooh, Prism goes down. More SCV kills in the main, not bad. Getting more SCVs. Back at it, we need those warp-ins. Colossus production has begun. It's building up Colossus. It's getting a little bit, it's getting a little bit messy here between the players. ByuN moves out. How many Colossus? One. One Colossus, 2 Eye Templar. Oh my god, the EMPs are brutal. Does catch 1 Eye Templar. There's 1 Templar left. Storm does get thrown down. There's 1 Storm remaining. There's that final Storm. Colossus does make it in. Oh, brutal EMP though. Is that 1 Colossus enough? We need those other Colossus. Does kite away. Does kite back. And Krystianer, he's holding. He's barely holding on. I say that here come the reinforcements. ByuN still rallying. And Krystianer holds. Whew. Krystianer, he barely holds on. But again, the problem with this hold here is that Krystianer, he keeps losing these high-tech units. The Immortals, the High Templar, the Stalkers as well. These have been expensive defenses here for Krystianer. Very expensive. But he does preserve the Colossus at least. True. There goes second Robos on the way. ByuN rebuilding his SCVs. 4th base is spotted. Planetaries on the way. ByuN is posturing. Threatening a dive. Now it gets force back. We have a 2nd starport on the way. That's going to be for double Viking production. That's going to be a lot of Vikings. So ByuN switching into Mass Viking. His 4th base is up running. This is a big moment for ByuN. Gets his 4th. Krystianer, his 5th is late. Yeah, it's a late 5th base for Krystianer. Late 6th base as well. I mean, again, the armies have been trading. To the main. Warp in will finish. Oh, that's close. It barely does finish up. But shouldn't get much done. Yeah, Zelt's going to be cleaned up. Look at this trade here from Krystianer. You see Krystianer is looking for a way in. Doesn't find it. If I find it, as ByuN is soon to be maxed. He's about to be maxed out. Nice storm. ByuN, he's setting. Oh my god, he's setting at the storms. ByuN, calm down. Does stand in the storms. Despite that, I mean, he still has a massive army. Yeah, we gotta calm down. Get out of the storms. Oh Jesus. As again, this choke point is brutal. Both of them. The bridges are so narrow. So difficult to break through. Does go both ways. Krystianer getting a 6th. 6th base getting up and running. He's still on 3 High Templar. Looking forward. Here he does look forward. Oh, EMP does connect. Storm mainly zoning. Turns away. Nice storm in the army. Summoning up ByuN. Ooh, goes up. Both armies still posturing. Krystianer, he does have a mineral bank at least to work with. And he has to make use of it. He has to start trading. Trading Zealots specifically. Or at least going for Zealot run-bys. That's Krystianer. He rotates. ByuN, he does find a way through. Oh. How do we engage? How do we respond? Storm popping up. We get a decent first storm. Brutally EMPs. EMPs covers everything. And Krystianer, his army is going to be plummeting here. We have Storm flanking. Storm's coming in. Zealots are coming from behind, but there's just not enough Protoss. Yeah, there's not enough Protoss. Krystianer, he will lose everything. I say that more Zealots are coming from behind. The army's overstimmed. The army's overstimmed, chasing down ByuN. It's so close. As ByuN pulls back, but there's a couple of problems here. One, Krystianer, once again, he loses a very expensive army. He lost all the Colossus, he lost all the High Templar, lost most. He has 2 Stalkers left after that fight. He lost a lot of his gas units. And even though Krystianer has a 1,500 bank, it's minerals, not gas. So that was an expensive loss there for Krystianer. Meanwhile, ByuN, his army is very cheap. Like, the bio army is just cheap overall, so you can just replenish it almost immediately. ByuN can afford these trades, Krystianer less so. But he can warp in a lot of Zealots, true. As you can see, Krystianer, he has almost an non-existent gas bank. Still a lot of mineral store. How many gateways is he on? 8. We could do with extra gateways. At this stage of the game, when we're getting up to a 7th expansion, we should be on at least 15 gateways. So this is on Krystianer, but his production is lackluster. He needs more gateways. He could probably get away with another robo as well for triple robo production. But the lack of gateways is slowing Krystianer down. He is now working towards 10 gates, which again is still not enough. ByuN does find a base. One Nexus goes down. At the same time, Krystianer going right down mid, but there's an army waiting for him. Oh my god, brutal EMPs. EMPs do pop off. And ByuN defense. You can see here how just fortified some of these bases are. How difficult it is to push in. Even when you have the supply lead. And ByuN's not done. He's hunting down more bases. Uh-oh. Nice storm. Very nice storm. ByuN stands in it at the same time. EMP's popping off, catching out all the High Templar. Yeah, all the Templar caught out. Colossus does fall to the Vikings. And where are the Stalkers? Where the Stalkers are not here, the Vikings, they just reign supreme. Without any Stalkers, the Vikings, they just go to town. They kill every Colossus. And ByuN, he will now take the fight in a much more convincing fashion. Zealots, they're still trading relatively well for themselves. Storm comes in from behind, but you can see Krystianer just plummeted in supply. Yeah, Vikings land. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Krystianer, he had some good fights. He had some really good fights, some really good moments. Unfortunately, there were a couple of things that were failing him. One, the production, right? He did not have enough gateways to sustain or to be able to sustain that kind of at least mineral income. Likewise, his gases were very they were very much so lacking. He could barely afford anything. He was lacking those gases. They need extra to keep warping in to be able to afford those Stalkers, to be able to have some anti-air for his army. And over time, Krystianer, he did fall apart there. Did fall apart. GG well played, though. They did go the distance. And again, Krystianer, he was able to survive the early to mid game. He was able to pull off these run-bys, these counterattacks, the drop play as well. GG. GG well played. ByuN does take a lead. And we'll see if Krystianer can bring it back. See if he can bring it back here as we're getting into our next game. But again, the mid game, very much so back and forth. Very back and forth. But here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Offside Esports from land of Poland. Down in the series, but hey, it's game 2, best of 5, plenty more games ahead of us. It is a Krystianer. Go. Here we go. The Tuna. Beautiful. As once again, we're expecting, yep, there we go, economic opener out of ByuN, going for a single gas geyser, going Rax expand. I would not be surprised if ByuN goes for a single gas every game in this series, going for a faster command center. Did it in game 1, doing it here in game number 2 as well. I think it's a little bit more impactful in game 1 just because we didn't even get to talk about it, but game 1 has a short rush distance by ground. We often see a lot of all-ins on Ultra Love because of that, and ByuN did not go for any kind of all-in, not at all. He was being aggressive with multiple aggression and drop play for sure, but not more than that. As ByuN does run the CC on low grounds. Krystianer setting up. From here, we expect Krystianer to go for a Twilight Council opener into Blink, into 3-gate Blink on 2 bases, into a third. Meanwhile, we do see ByuN. I mean, this is a really good reaction. Remember, what did Krystianer go for in the last game? He went for early Adept Aggression and early Stalker as well, and he was able to delay the CC and cause a little bit of chaos. So ByuN responds with what? With early Marauder and Concussive Shell. Now, this opener here from ByuN is designed to punish a player being too aggressive. And you can see here, Adepts are moving out. Again, ByuN, his hope here is to catch this Adept. To catch this Adept and maybe even get another as well. As Krystianer is moving out. And then Marauders are building up Concussive Shell done in a couple of seconds. ByuN rushing to a third CC. Oh my god. Going Rax expand into a third CC before second Rax and before factory. Very greedy here from ByuN. Insanely greedy. Now, the Shade does get eyes on the Marauders, so Krystianer, he will back the hell off. And now, the scary thing here is that it is not uncommon to see this opener, to see this build, and this lead into like a 2-1-1 or extra Raxes behind this. This is hyper greed out of ByuN. Now, we have seen ByuN do this before, but typically when he does this, it's going to be a CC in the main, but here it's on location, and if Krystianer sees what's going on, he can respond with 4-gate. He can respond with 4-gate Blink Stalker to punish and to shut this down. But Krystianer, he didn't scout. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's happening. And the problem is that he turns back home, and I don't blame him, he turns back home because of the Marauders, right? Like, he knows that he cannot be active because if he gets caught by the Marauders, he will lose everything. So he's stuck at home, he's stuck on his side of the map, and he doesn't realize how much greed ByuN is getting away with. Now, here we go, he does reinforce the army, and he needs to get in. Krystianer is poking forward. Bunker is on the way. Krystianer, he against 2 Marauders, I don't think he can quite break through. Yeah, he can't break through. Shade is denied. He sees Stim. He sees Stim being researched. Again, for all he knows, it could be a 2-1-1 variation or a 3-Rax. And it is, but it's 3CC 3-Rax. That's the difference here. It's an economic variation of 3-Rax. Very greedy. And Krystianer backs off. Krystianer, he sees Stim, he backs off, he pulls away. He's going 3-gate Blink into a third, standard opener. He went for a Robo first, of course, so I would say safe opener here by Krystianer, and ByuN takes a lead. ByuN takes a lead, he gets ahead. If Krystianer was greedy himself, then I would think his position would be okay. If he was aggressive, then it'd be okay, but here he's safe. And a safe opener against a greedy opener, I have to favor ByuN. As Krystianer, again, he's being somewhat active, but there's nothing to let him know to actually check in that direction. To scout the third. As you can chat, didn't ByuN do this in the EWC? Yes, yes. He did do this at Esports World Cup against Zoun. Zoun did punish him, by the way, if you remember. Zoun did punish ByuN doing this. If I remember correctly, I think Zoun forced a cancel, if not mistaken. It was like maybe game 2 in the series. I can't quite recall. It was game 1 or game 2. And if you remember during the cast, I did say that typically ByuN goes for the CC in the main base, but to go for it on location is crazy. So I stand by those words. I stand by it. Of course, you can check out our YouTube channel. Of course, we did live stream all of EWC. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast any of the B-stream matches just because we were busy covering the mainstream. So we did miss out on those B-stream matches, unfortunately. But overall, it was a great time. As Krystianer is going to be forced back. And this is where ByuN hits his final form. Nice drop into the main, does distract. But now that the store base is getting fully saturated, that's when this kicks in. It's yet to really do so. Like, the Raxes are still on the way, the add-ons are still on the way. But given time, ByuN, he will skyrocket ahead in that production or in that supply. Coming in with this around. Yeah, there's that stim. Comes in from behind, takes down more stalkers. Krystianer trying to pull away. ByuN, he commits. Does commit across the map. Storm, I mean, Storm is going to be a big factor here. If Krystianer can buy a little bit more time, then Storm can help defend. But here comes ByuN. ByuN does stay forward. Storm is still not finished. No, the High Templar. One more second. And there we go. Storm does finish up just in time. Oh my god. Just in time does complete. ByuN does take some massive storms to the face. Another massive storm. And Krystianer, he shuts this down. Whew. Again, clutch moves with the storms. Very clutch. Storm finish up just in time. With that, Krystianer, he holds, but ByuN still has a massive army. Again, the power of the third. As Krystianer is running a storm. He's running a storm. He's got one storm left. That was it. That is the final High Templar. And ByuN can chase. Can chase. Catching up the Zealots. Behind this, we do warp in one additional High Templar. We got one High Templar warping in. There's the NG overcharge. He's got a couple of storms. ByuN still has the economic lead, which is why he still has a larger army. Nice splits here from ByuN. This time avoids a storm. Gets a High Templar. Picks up a Templar. ByuN, he'll be the first to max out. Now, how do you come back from here? Now, there is going to be a chance. There are ways to recover if you're in the shoes of a Krystianer, specifically War Prism Harass. War Prism Harass into the bases, Zealot run by into a mineral line, of course, as well. Catching at the arm with storms. Like, there are ways to try to outposition and to try to outcontrol. But it's not going to be easy here. Krystianer breaking in between the bases. There are EMPs available for ByuN. We get some okay storms. Storms they do blank at the army. Now we're running out of storms. Prism goes down. At the same time, Zealots they do hit the third. Zealots they come in from behind. And they do get a couple of SCV kills. Bad. his main army pushing in. It is some damage to Krystianer. He needs more. He still needs more here. As those they collapse on the reinforcements, but still they're being dealt with. ByuN holds. Yeah, he's holding on. Krystianer moving in once again. It does feel like Krystianer at this point is getting desperate. Yeah, he's just rallying. He's just rallying across the map, but he's running into an army. Ay, ay, ay. Krystianer bleeding out more Stalkers. Bleeding out a High Templar as well. Again, you can't afford to lose a Templar. Not like this. Not like this. With that ByuN, he kind of overwhelmed. The Colossus does arrive just in time. With the help of the Colossus, we can maybe make a stand, but there's just no support here. There's no support, there's no buffer. Stalker's going to be falling one after the other. Stims on in, takes on the Colossus. And then Krystianer, he has no backbone left to his army. He has purely a gateway composition, just a handful of Zealots, a handful of Stalkers, and not much else. See Leone in the chats. Why doesn't Percival supposed to have 1k in case of emergency warpins? If you missed out on the start of the game, that you might not be familiar, but ByuN had a very greedy opener, had a really greedy start, which is why ByuN has so much momentum. That's why ByuN has a greater economy. That's why he has a larger army. That's why he has map control. It all comes down to the opener. It all comes down to the greed of ByuN early on, which snowballs into this kind of game state. It's why the early game and like these kind of greedy builds are really important to shut down early on. If you don't, then things get out of hand real fast and real quick. So basically, Krystianer's been playing from the back foot. He's been playing from behind, trying to catch up. Unfortunately, he didn't scout the greed. If you recall, he didn't scout it, didn't recognize it, didn't punish it. And ByuN just snowballed out of control from there. There were some nice fights and some nice moments here from Krystianer, but it's still been an uphill battle. And ByuN is maxed. ByuN, he's maxed out. Jumping to the natural. Zealot on my there's only a handful of Zealots. Again, there's just not much supply to work with. Hello, Ghost. Just random Ghost running in. Krystianer's built up to 4 Colossus. Okay. It's a Viking guy looking like only 3 Vikings, so the 4 Colossus, they can hold their own. They can try to at least. But here there's only 1 Colossus. Krystianer holding, but that's still going to be 19 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, between the main base and the natural, 19 workers go down. Gets in. ByuN once again gets into the main. I mean, that's still a lot of Colossus and a lot of Storms. There's still a lot of potential with this army here from Krystianer. He's got a lot of Storms banked up. And Krystianer's pretty all in. Back at him is losing more workers, more of his economy. It's all or nothing with this one massive army from Krystianer. This is it. This is it. This is his moment. As he has to keep going. Kills the base. Nice. Has to keep going. Has to keep going. And break the natural. That's Krystianer. He has 10 High Templar. Okay. 10 Templar. Oh god. EMP goes off. Force him off in an Archon. More EMPs connecting. From 10 down to 6. So 6 High Templar left. More EMP. Oh god, the EMPs are brutal. 1 good storm. Yeah, one good storm, but just the one. Vikings, they go to town. Colossus is going to be falling. They go down to one. Down to one Colossus, soon to be down to 0. Final Colossus goes down. Now only Blinkstalkers left. Still a very scrappy fight here. And again, Krystianer, impressive that he was able to build up that army. This is the final fight here for Krystianer. He breaks through the SCVs. Can he get on top of the ghost? Oh, no, he cannot. Yeah, he can't get on top of the ghost. It's barely not going to be enough. Again, this was his last-ditch effort. Behind this, we do see ByuN getting the northern base. Zone economy still a little bit lackluster, but he has more CCs. Yeah, he has more CCs. He's floating over. He's landing. Okay, nice little run by. Denies mining. Krystianer, he has a fresh mining base. This might make the difference here. So Krystianer, he has one fresh mining base going, and ByuN, I mean, he's mining out here at his third base. He's, never mind, he just saturated his new fourth. His fourth base getting up running at the same time, though. Krystianer moving in. Okay. Does move in. Does hit the mineral line. ByuN out of position. He's racing on over from across the map. SCVs are going down. I'll show some storms. Wow, we get some okay storms. Zelda going down. And brutal losses for Krystianer. More storms coming in. Nice split there from ByuN. A spreads well. Oof, brutal EMP. And GG. GG gets called. That's all that Krystianer had left. And ByuN takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. When it came to Krystianer's move out, he was basically all in. He was basically all in. He had built up, if you remember, he had 10 High Templar. He had 10 High Templar. He had 4 Colossus. It was a pretty terrifying army, but the EMPs were insane. Even though there were 10 High Templar, I want to say there were only 3 storms. Like there were so few storms available because of the EMPs, because of the non-stop EMPs there from ByuN. Likewise, the Vikings, they did their job. The Vikings, they did well, sniping those Colossus one after the other. I want to say like one Colossus was able to get a lot of value, but outside of that, the other Colossus were quick to fall. And with that, GG, well played. ByuN, he did survive, he did persevere. Again, a really strong start from ByuN, winding it back. Remember, ByuN, he opened up with a 3rd CC after the first racks. Hyper greed out of ByuN, and he got away with it. That's why he had such a strong start. That's why he had so much map control. That's why Krystianer had such a hard mid-game. In the end, he was able to make a game out of it, so shout out to Krystianer for being able to pull that off. But alas, now we're getting into game 3. We're getting into game 3, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0, and 1 game away from claiming this series and becoming this week's Tuna Cup champion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player of the Polish Protoss, representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. We want to shout out to Ken Pisto. I did. It's again Pisto. Thank you so much. Gab. Oh, as we're going for proxy, as we're actually faking a proxy. Okay, but thank you so much. Do appreciate the kind words. Thanking us for the stream. Do appreciate it. Go. Oh, pistachio. Oh, there we go. Pistachio. Yeah, let's go. As we're going for kind of a fake proxy, because the proxy, the ranks are on ByuN's side of the map. That is true, but we're still going for a 2 ranks Reaper setup here. So 2 ranks Reaper out of ByuN. Krystianer, he pokes in, he does scout. Additional pylons. Does confirm that, hey, hold up, the ranks is missing. Does he scout the gases? Did. Okay, did scout the gases, did see only 1 gas geyser in the main. He's in position here to block the CC just in case. We can see though that we do have 2 Reapers in production. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. At the same time, we do see Krystianer scouting on the right-hand side, checking for proxies. Going back in to check for the SC, to check for the CC. Let's go back in. As he does get, okay, does confirm the command center, so he knows it's not an all-in. He knows it's not too committed, and the Rax is already floating back. They're already floating back. The Reaper is just now pushing, and we'll see what he can find. Oh, Robo Opener, uh-oh. Robo Opener out of Krystianer. This is very defensive. A very defensive start here for Krystianer on one base. Okay, just realized. Instead of expanding, 2 more gateways. Okay, so Krystianer is going for a 1 base all-in. Let's go. 1 base all-in out of Krystianer. Meanwhile, ByuN, he is unaware. Despite opening up Reaper like this, he has to scout, he has to confirm. It's time for Krystianer to clown. Papi, let's go. As Reaper pokes in, Reaper does scout the Robo. Now, seeing a Robo here isn't the... It doesn't confirm. Doesn't confirm it's an all-in. Seeing all the gateways would be confirmation, but he didn't see the gates. Didn't see the gateways yet, but I mean, he's aware of at least like a War Prism coming his way. He has a bunker on the high ground. Raxes have landed. Reapers, a scat the Prism.
Add-on complete.
Nexus on the way. Krystianer going for 3-gate Robo into a heavily delayed natural. Okay, Krystianer, he is expanding technically, but this is a late base. It's a late expansion. ByuN, his CC's already done. You know, Krystianer does warp in. Breaks forward. Does break forward. Will bring down Depot. Likewise going for the 2nd depot as well. At least attempting to. And will focus it down. Oh, nice save. Saves the Stalkers, does pull back, does pull away. Krystianer does retreat. He does retreat. Oh no, he dies! Shuts down the Prism. Yeah, shuts down the Prism as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I assumed that Krystianer, he would get away. He does not. It doesn't get away. Natural base is being taken. And so far, ByuN is secure. ByuN, he is secure here on 2 bases. And Krystianer, he's more committed. I mean, again, remember, Krystianer, his natural base is so late. It's so delayed. Late economy, late saturation. He needs more damage. Yeah, GG. GG gets called. He cannot break through. And again, he was so committed. Borderline all in. And with that, GG. GG. Well played, ByuN. He will shut down the aggression from Krystianer. And ByuN will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG. Well played. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN, as it does claim the series does take the 3-0. Shout out to Krystianer, because if you maybe tune in a little bit later in the series, if you missed out on the first 2 games, the first 2 games were pretty intense. Even game 2, I'm so impressed by Krystianer being able to make a game out of it despite being so far behind, despite not punishing the 3rd CC, despite not being able to do much about the economy of ByuN. He still made a game out of it. Still he was able to hold his own, able to have that final big push. He was shut down, of course, but despite that, he still made it close, still made a series out of it. So GG, well played. I don't think the 3-0 really does justice to game 1 and game 2. Game 3 was more one-sided, true. Game 3 was more one-sided. Game 3 was more one note there after the crazy setup from both players in the first game, but 1 and 2 was a little more intense. GG. A little more intense, a little more back and forth. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh. GG, well played. And congratulations here to ByuN as it does claim the series. And again, the shout to Krystianer for making it to the finals. Remember, he took down Creator. Krystianer, he 2-0'd Creator in the semis. To make it this far, to face off against ByuN. Face off against ByuN. And I'm just asking ByuN, what's the plan for today? And he said that he already went to the gym. He already gymmed today, and apparently he's going to be playing in the EU League later on tonight. So there you go. Wardy's going to be hosting the EU League later on in the evening. That is going to be over on Wardy's channel. Let's go. Let us go. HNX replays why bunker. Are you referring to why there was a bunker? I'm pretty sure ByuN was responding to the reaction to his own build. As a reminder, ByuN, he went for a proxy 2x Reaper, but a fake proxy 2x, so I'm pretty sure he was just assuming that he was forcing a reaction out of his opponent. If you remember, he scouted the Robo, so he would most likely be assuming that Krystianer would commit a little bit harder to shut down whatever was coming his way. So yeah, just safety bunker on the high grounds. Even without said bunker, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to hold off against the aggression of Krystianer as well. It was, yeah, just an unfortunate setup there to be chased down by the Viking, to be chased down by ByuN, to lose that Prism. And again, it was like borderline. Like I was surprised that Krystianer expanded. It was borderline one base all in, but did try to expand behind it, even though he was hyper committed on one base. Like it was a shaky game, But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up, and we'll see what's up next. It's going to be a busy week, as always. It's going to be a busy week here on the CranKy Ducklings. As always, we do cast on a daily basis here, and bam, checking out our schedule. Tomorrow is going to be a more intense one. Now, typically, we do cast StarCraft twice a day, every single day. Usually it's twice a day. But now that we're in the off season of EWC, we do want to take it easy. We do want to take it slow here. So as you can see here, we only had one cast on Monday, which was yesterday, the WardyTV Monday. We only have one cast today, which is Sparkling Tuna Cup. Tomorrow we do have Pigstar Cup in the morning, and we have the OC King of the Hill in the evening. On Thursday we have the Pond Cast. Thursday evening, Friday morning we do have the Sunny Lake Cup as well. We have KSL on Saturday, we have SDO on Saturday, we have a K Cup and Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sunday. As you can see, Sparkling Tuna Cup is our weekly tournament. It's usually on Sundays, but this week it wasn't on Sunday because of the Fusion Esports League, because of FEL. So because of that, we had to reschedule to Tuesday. Usually it's Sundays though. As you can see here on the schedule, next week, or the next edition, is coming up this Sunday. So we have quite a busy schedule here, quite a busy bracket, or quite a busy lineup. When it comes to the off-season of EWC, that doesn't really impact us too much. The majority, if not every tournament that we cast on a regular basis is not contingent on the Esports World Cup. EWC does make things a little bit more intense because we have to schedule around it. But, you know, OC events, Sparkling Tuna Cup, WardyTV Mondays, Pigstar Cup, KSL, SDO, StarCraft Evolution League, Euthermal CV2 circuits, RSL, like all these tournaments, they're all independent in their own way. So there's a lot to cast. So again, despite us being in the off season, we should be live every day. We should be live every single day at some point in the day, sometimes twice a day as well. So again, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, and we have the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Let's go. Let us go. So again, we should be live tomorrow. That's going to be at 9 AM KST. That's going to be at 10 AM AEST. That'll be in around 11 hours. In around 11 hours time, we're going to be live here with the Pigstar Cup. The Pigstar Cup is just like this event, except it's a little bit more catered towards the NA region. So we get players like Estrella, we get players like Trigger at times, we get some of the Latin Americans like Cham, for example. So we do get a wider array of players. We get some European D-Gens, players like MaxPax, Clem, Skillis, Nicaract, Geralt. There's like a key set of players that are willing to play at 5 AM in the morning. So we get a couple of D-Gen Europeans staying up, but for the most part, it's like for the Koreans and for the North Americans to compete in the Pigstar Cup. Likewise, OC King of the Hill is going to be a lot of fun. That is a best of one style tournament. King of the Hill best of one, I should say, where the winner stays on and the loser is eliminated. So that's going to be a spicy format later on tonight. And then we have the Pondcast on Thursday. That's going to be an intense Pondcast because we skipped last week. We had to because of EWC. The Pondcast is our weekly talk show, our weekly SC2 podcast. and there's so much to discuss and so much to go over, and we're gonna have to make it a little bit shorter as well because of the tournaments right after that as well. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best to catch up on the 2 weeks of content, the 2 weeks of news, as typically this is a weekly show. So there's a lot to discuss, a lot to get into when it comes to the podcast. So yes, it's gonna be intense. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. A big shout out, congratulations to ByuN, of course, for becoming our champion. And if you want to tune in some more StarCraft, stick around because we're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Again, later on tonight is gonna be the Warrior TV European League. Let's double check. But the EU League is in 3 hours. In 3 hours' time, that is when the EU League is upon us, and I believe ByuN is going to be competing in that. Meanwhile, who's live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we raid? I don't see many people that I'm familiar with. But we'll find someone to raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. So give them some love. Give them some support. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to support us, you can do so via socials, !socials in the chat. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. We do upload it on YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of content on YouTube. So again, if you want to watch EWC, if you missed out on Esports World Cup, we did cast it live here on the channel. Every single day of EWC we did cover, so you can tune into the VODs over on YouTube. We also casted all the Fusion Esports League as well. So again, that's all on YouTube, so you can check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You can also support us on Patreon if you wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. All right, I should also mention, when it comes to Patreon specifically, that actually helps boost this tournament. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournament. So currently, you can see under the graphic, I got you. Under the graphic here, you can see the current goal and how much we make on Patreon. We currently do earn 461 USD via Patreon out of the goal of 500, and 100% of that money goes towards the tournaments. It all goes towards tournaments like this one, tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. All 3 of our tournaments are funded via that Patreon, and if you want to help us grow those tournaments, you can do so via Patreon. The next goal after this, which is around like 550 USD a month, then we can finally start paying casters and paying admins as well. So then some of the earnings there, or some of the contributions to Patreon, can start going towards some of the staff for these events. But currently, it all goes towards the players. All goes towards the prize pools. So you can support us there. You can support the scene and the tournament and the players there via Patreon. So you can do so if you wish. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in 11 hours time for the biggest World Cup, or we'll see you guys in 24 hours time for the OSC King of the Hill. See you then. See you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.